what do you get when you cross a know-it-all newspaper columnist with an awkward, unsophisticated everyman?
Yeah. Well, I'm just not sure about that right now.
Welcome to Couch and the Rube.
Welcome to Couch and the Rube, our Friday show, presented by our friends at Firekeepers Casino and Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app. Download the app now. Bet the NFL games this weekend. I've got some great teasers. Jason's got some stuff coming. It's a good time to do it. You like the new and improved app? Again, go to download the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook, or just swing down to Dacey's Taproom and Sportsbook and get the in-house sportsbook experience on I-94 in Battle Creek at Firekeepers Casino. And our Friday show also presented by our friends at Front 43 Neighborhood Pub and Cask & Company Kitchen and Bar. That's on East Saginaw near the Lansing-East Lansing border. Unbelievable place to park yourself and watch NFL playoffs this weekend. Watch the college football playoff, whatever it might be, or just go on a date night. Great menu. And if you want to make a reservation, caskandcompany.com. Jason, how you doing, brother?
It's the American way, except America has gotten soft.
Pound the bushes.
Let's go green, go God.
Let's go green, go God. What's up, man?
I'm doing well. You?
Yeah?
Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm
Last
good.
night was kind of boring. No one got kicked out. Ho-hum, comeback victory. Lots of turnovers that drive me nuts. But, hey, great win by Michigan State last night.
I think that may have been what the team needed. Just something to like a Paul Davis. Somebody's going to have to sit in for Paul. It can't be Paul every time, but somebody's got to get kicked out so the whole crowd can get fired up.
It's kind of tough when you're Paul Davis, too, because you're the size of a giraffe. And when you come in, people know exactly who you are, right? You can't throw on something that is inconspicuous.
Tough to hide.
Yeah.
You know?
Anyway.
It's not.
Shout out to him for having to apologize in front of all of you assholes, though. I mean, I think I just would have went to rehab instead of having to sit there. I know Izzo made him do that, but 'cause some people are like, well, why did he have to apologize in front of everyone? But that's what Izzo's going to make you do, right? That's the punishment.
Yeah, and I don't know how much was his idea versus Izzo's.
Paul Davis wanted hey, coach, let me just go in front of everybody and say I'm sorry.
I think he wanted to get out in front of it. I do think but
do you want to, like I said, have to look out at a podium and see Graham Couch, Jack Eblin, Chris Solari staring back at Harns, staring back at you? I mean, could there be a worse punishment?
Well, Harns wasn't there,
that helps then. I'd rather do 72 days in Ingham County.
So here's my
which I have done.
Yeah. My conversation with Solari. Let me find this here. This is the day. I will. Hold on one second. I apologize.
Graham.
Here it is.
Anyway,
the things.
Graham.
I said to. Apparently, I don't. I go.
How do you have it? Not have it? It's a text.
Sorry, it's a text. Sorry, he has two numbers. Solari has two phones. I opened the wrong one. Sorry.
He's got a burner.
No, he just got two phones. I don't know. It's
what?
It's ridiculous. Sometimes you can't get him on one.
Is he a drug dealer? Or why would you need two phones as a sports writer?
Great question.
Okay,
it's a great question.
Right.
Solari has two phones, two numbers. So anyway, I had a bunch of stuff going on. No, I didn't. We were doing the show on Tuesday.
Jesus.
So we were doing the show. So I was running a little behind getting over to practice, and I just wanted to make sure. I texted Solari. I said, I'll be there in 10. Are they still practicing? And his response is, yeah, we're going to do Izzo in the media room, usually do outside. Paul Davis as well. And I responded, LOL. And he said, that is not a joke. So I didn't.
It's not a funny topic, Graham.
That was serious. And I just pinched my finger against the desk here. But
so did it shock you that he was apologizing in front of everybody? I mean, I understand because I guess you have to. I don't know. I would just go to rehab.
I didn't think it was
just check out after 48 hours.
I thought he handled it well. It was a great apology.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't have apologized myself. I wouldn't have thought to. I would have thought that's embarrassing. I would have I probably would have sent out a tweet my bad guys, whatever.
I would have sent out a statement.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But
not, man, that's a punishment. Now, any other former player that sees that, shit, I'm not going to do that. Because he would have been banned. I mean, if you say no to Izzo, it's like you're a persona non grata.
I don't think that's the way it went down. I mean, he said he called Izzo first.
Sure.
So,
but he probably asked Coach, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? And then Izzo's,
Yeah.
you're going to listen. I have to talk to these assholes. You're going to have to do it too. Fred Human staring at you. It's fucking hell. Should have brought Stout in there. Just everybody just staring at you.
By the end, it's funny because it was a really good apology, and I thought Izzo did a nice, did the whole press conference. Izzo
He didn't kill anybody.
But then Izzo comes back up, and it got to be a little much. It was almost like, all right, this is
No way.
This is a guy said something inappropriate at a game. This isn't. We don't.
By the way, you don't say those things that he said. It's the worst thing. You don't say those in the world.
It's a little overdone.
In the world.
A little overcooked at the end, but it was.
Promise, Paul, we'll drop it eventually.
It was well handled, and it keeps it from being a multiple week, multiple day story,
which is a bummer. I wanted to, let's keep it going, but.
Anyway, before we dig into these Groovy Donut Twitter questions, which are good today, as they are every day. What we are betting this weekend, presented by our friends at the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app. Jason, you betting anything this weekend?
I have a 5-1 NFL playoff parlay that I like, except for one leg. Except for one leg, though, because I don't trust this Philly team, and that's Philly minus 4.5 against San Fran at home. I just don't know. Sirianni. The 49ers have probably the worst injuries in all of football.
And no defense.
Right in front of the Lions there. Yeah, and no defense. Minus 4.5. I got that. Bills. I'm not buying this Jacksonville thing. I think everybody's on the Jacksonville thing. This is Josh Allen's time without Mahomes, without Lamar in the playoffs. This is Josh Allen's time. I think in good weather. I just can't bet against Josh Allen. And I was getting plus money at the minus 1.5 for the Bills. Bills minus 1.5. Eagles minus 4.5. And to round it out, Patriots money line at home against the Chargers. The Chargers are also beat up. I didn't like laying any points or anything, so I just took the money line, and that is a NFL playoff 5-1 parlay.
So I'm a little less risky. I'm with you in the approach. I've got a 4-team, 7-point NFL teaser.
If this is minus 190, I'm walking out.
No. It's 2-1. It's plus 200.
Okay, all right.
So it's Jaguars plus 7 at home. I like the Jaguars, but I am a little nervous. But I think they're the better team. So if they lose late, I think they'll keep it in the score.
It's too public.
It feels publicly. Yep. Rams minus 3.5.
Yeah.
Patriots plus 3.5. Texans plus 4. And that's like 50 pays 100, 100 pays 200, however you want to do that. So, yeah.
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. But, man, when you go 4 legs like that.
I know. Something's going to go wrong. Something's going to go wrong. Just don't. Yeah, I wouldn't overcook it with the price, how many units you put on it. But that is what I'm playing at the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app today. Do you want to dig into these Groovy Donut Twitter questions?
Yeah, unless you wanted to recap that turnover fest that Michigan State pulled out. But
we will do that through this through the questions.
Great W. I'm just saying. Eric Schultz up first. Okay, tell us one time. Does MSU have enough NIL money, not revenue share, to be competitive in the transfer portal? How does MSU's NIL compare to a year ago when all you guys said they didn't have enough? I don't need dollar amounts, but can you tell me something, please?
Yeah, it's a good question, and I can't. I'm sorry about that. No,
make up a number for Eric.
Here's what I'll say. I have decent faith that they will have enough as they build this, because of the way the Spartan Ventures, which is sort of going into effect this spring, is. I don't know exactly what the sales pitch is, because the way they're planning to use their media rights deals to help facilitate NIL stuff. I don't know exactly where they are relative to some of the programs that have an awful lot of momentum right now, like in Indiana or something like that. Do they have enough? I do think, though, they have figured out an approach that will have enough to be in the upper tier of what teams are offering. And the idea behind that Spartan Ventures is that it's nimble too. Like, right, if the system changes on them, they're able to do things within the rules, so to speak. But I think last year they were huffing and puffing just to get to the rev share, and I don't think that's an issue now, and which makes it easier to promise certain things. But it's a fair question, Eric, and we haven't. This is one of the first things that'll be asked the next time, and I think should be asked the next time any of us talk to Pat Fitzgerald.
Dominic next. Why do we have officiating analysts when all they do is cover for their boys? They'll literally lie during a replay that we're all watching with no shame. Blandino is decent, but everyone else is just a total shill. Like Terry McCauley, who blocked me for some reason unknown. Come on, T-Mac. Why are you blocking Dominic? That's soft. I mean, I understand blocking some people, but not Dom. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
He's got a picture of himself in his avatar. I mean, he goes by a name.
I don't seem to have the same problem with the analysts you do, but
of course you don't.
Well, I mean,
you like him. You're pro ref.
I'm not.
That would be fitting if you were pro ref.
I'm not pro ref. I mean, I'm not anti-ref, but I like the analyst role in the broadcast. I do. I like when they come on and explain things. I think you don't like that?
I yell at them.
Okay.
Especially if they're wrong. But, yeah.
Well,
it's like, who needs to hear what they have to say?
It is annoying when they come on or
Gene's territory, especially if my bet's not going the right way.
That's
come on, who hasn't been there, right?
Yeah.
Dominic, nothing feels right about Saturday night as a Bears fan. And I work with an obnoxious cheese curd guzzling Packer fan. He also walks around barefoot, so we call him Shoes. Should my Bears fall? What's the best course of action for me? This fuck is going to come for me, couch.
Well, you've seen what...
is he airport guy, too? Like on a plane? Does he like one of those guys I see that kicks their shoe off?
And are we talking barefoot or sock? Socks?
It said barefoot. Oh. He also walks around barefoot. You put these together, by the way.
At work.
Yeah.
Did
you say barefoot? Like, yeah, dude, it's right there.
But I mean, yeah, but he doesn't mean with socks on. Okay,
barefoot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we saw
bare ass foot.
We saw what Kevin did in Home Alone. A good tar and nail will take care of that any day of the week.
Have you ever seen that? Someone on a plane would take their shoes off?
It's the worst.
You've seen it?
Yes.
Really?
It's not cool.
And then have their feet up if they're like next to one of the exit things where there's a wall there and they put their feet up there.
I don't know if I've seen that, but I've seen the barefoot, which is just like, come on, man.
Wild. People are wild.
You think that's okay? It's not. It's not.
It's wild behavior.
Here's what I would do. First of all, I think the Bears have a good chance to win this game. But what you have to do is you have to find ways that, like, if you think that the Bears quarterback, Caleb Williams, is better than the Packers quarterback long term,
who's
Jordan Love.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, it's not me. A lot of times I can't think of names. It was not this. It was me.
Right.
Sorry. Then you can use that because, like, if maybe the Packers' ceiling is less, they're not going to win it. I tell you this: the Packers are not winning a Super Bowl this year. So even if you lose this game, like, you just got to find ways that long term they're screwed. Figure out, is their salary cap situation screwed? Where are they less than long term? And really needle that. I guess that's what I would do.
Is there something that you could put like near his desk so he steps in it? Like something gross, but not smelly gross, but just something that would feel gross on your feet if your barefoot stepped in it.
Yeah.
So he just turns around and goes, and that would tell him. I mean, if they call you shoes at work, asshole, you can't put your shoes on.
That's a problem.
I mean, what are people that stink too? I've had enough of those people. Dominic Graham, what were your thoughts about the Minneapolis ICE incident on Wednesday? Furthermore, why is ICE wasting their time on those streets when they should be shipping Chris Illich to a Turkish prison? Really should. You really offered Scooble $19 million in arbitration? Fucking Illich.
So I'll say this on the situation with ICE in Minneapolis. I have been probably as upset about a news story in the last couple days as I have been in a long time. And what I found, though, is that I found myself seeking out podcasts that I like to listen to as distractions. Not my usual stuff with the Bulwark or whatever that's going to address it, and not just getting frustrated and more disillusioned with the people who run this country. And so that's what this show is for a lot of people. So we're going to keep the show being that because I know a lot of you.
Give us your takes on ICE for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Yeah,
go ahead.
It's just not what people are here for. So, yeah. But anyway, to the Scooble situation.
Embarrassing. It's embarrassing is what it is.
It's embarrassing.
I mean, both. 19. You can say both, the ICE situation and this.
Well, let's not put ICE and Scooble in the same.
Well,
same
I mean,
boat.
he's to put them together. I'm just saying they're both embarrassing. I mean,
Chris Illich and ICE.
Yeah, dude.
When you look at the history of arbitration deals, there has never been a pitcher over $19 million. But Scooble's the best in the game right now, and this is you're like the fact that the Tigers just look really cheap. Like your payroll is so low, you shouldn't mind spending $32 million on Scooble for one season next year. Like, that's what I think bothers people. The idea that you're nickeling and diming the best pitcher in the game when you're not going to pay him anyway. It just looks really bad. And I understand from a negotiation standpoint, this may not be the dumbest tactic or all that. But I'm sorry, $13 million in a non-salary cap sport when you're spending so much less than everybody else already, you ought to be spending that elsewhere. If you said to me today, the reason we're battling this is we're trying to go out and spend this, and get this guy, this, but you're not doing any of that shit. Just pay Skubal for 1 year. Like, I don't. The Tigers are an incredibly frustrating management. It's
embarrassing.
Yeah.
Dominic, are we sure Paul Davis was treated fairly, guys? As someone who's been in a relationship with a W word, did you censor this? I think we're failing.
I did not. He wrote this. He's starting to learn.
I got to make sure. I think we're failing to consider that Davis endured the same, perhaps even with the same W word. While I was asleep in my bed and unaware that W word was banging Paul Davis? That'd be a wild story.
If
Paul D looks like a party, though. I could see him pulling W words.
What if Paul Davis was actually right? Like, this ref, he
his wife's a whore?
Personal relationship. Yeah.
Well, even if you're right, he can't sit there all game long just yelling that shit out. Oh, your wife say hi, niece. Like, it's just, you can't do it.
Can't do it.
You can't. Jarrett, do you feel like there is a player growing into the we need a basket right now close game guy for MSU basketball? And don't say, I don't know, Couch. We need to know this. Seriously.
That's not Jarrett. That's
me. Sorry, I tagged Jarrett's thing there. Fuck me. Who's that guy? And I know Jax needs to get more shots, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's the closest thing.
Shit.
But but you really need a guard to be in that role. And so, like, because Kohler, for all he can do, he's still a big man. Like, a big man somebody has to give them the ball, right, generally. And so you need it to be a guard. And I don't see it at the guard position right now. Doesn't mean they can't survive without it. And I think Fears is sort of the closest thing to it. And if Fears can create for others, that's fine. They do need to get Kohler more shots. And I wrote this in the quick take. It's kind of a weird, like, he was feeling ill. I think he turned it over 6 times. It's not
so that's why the 6 turnovers.
It's not
good.
It's not a great day to, like, make the argument for more Jaxon Kohler when a guy has 6 turnovers. But in
the past games we've said that too, though.
Yeah, and there are times, and I was trying to watch this more and more closely yesterday. There are times where he comes down the court and gets position quickly, and they're not giving him the ball. It's before the double can come. You know what I mean? Like, I would use that quick. Like, let him barrel himself down. Because there are 2 ways he's effective in transition. One, it's him beating people down the court and getting position and having a one-on-one right at the hoop. And then the other is him as a trailer, which I also like because that makes him the 3-point shooter. But they don't have that guy. And, it may bite them this year.
It's going to bite.
Yeah.
If they don't figure it out at some point here in the next month, right? You can't turn the ball over like that and not have a go-to guy.
A guy, just a
scorer.
Getter.
Other than Kohler, you need a guy that you can count on to get a bucket, and they don't have that right now.
They don't.
Yeah. So it will end up biting them, yeah. CW, at the end of the year, what will Kohler's 3-point percentage be? If it's above 45%, does he get drafted in the second round?
He's a bull in a china closet.
So I think what'll be interesting, I don't know where he'll get drafted, but in terms of NBA looks, if you're a 6'9" guy who rebounds at an elite level, because this goes back to something Draymond said when he got to the NBA, when he wasn't doing anything else at a really high level via the NBA, but could get on the court because he said he could rebound. That got him on the court. Kohler has turned himself into an elite college rebounder. If that were to translate at the next level, the way he rebounds, and he's also a guy who stretches defenses. Now, he's not, somebody who can defend everybody and everything. I think he'll get a look because he does 2 things. Like, one of the worst things you can be in the NBA as a young guy trying to make it is sort of a jack of all trades. They don't want that. They don't need that. They don't need another guy who's a 20-point scorer in college but isn't really an elite scorer in the NBA. They got scorers. They need guys who can fill roles. They need guys who can stretch the floor, knock down shots, and need guys who can rebound, especially on the offensive glass. And Kohler does those 2 things well. So I think he's turned himself into a guy who will get looks. I think there is some interest in him in that sense. Now, what that looks like in terms of draft or ultimately, an NBA career, we'll see. But he does 2 things at a very, very high level right now, and he's been above, he's an elite spot-up three-point shooter in the college game, a stretch four, and he's an elite rebounder, and so he'll get a look.
T-Bone's dad next. In what area does the basketball team have the biggest opportunity to realistically improve before March Madness? And will they do so?
I think the guy, and we talk a lot about Jordan Scott, and I think there are areas that he can improve, and he can become a more complete shooter. But the guy I think that has the biggest ceiling of those young guys that he hasn't tapped into is Cam Ward. Because Cam Ward, we saw 18 and 10 out of the gate, right, against Arkansas. And he was good at times in the games that followed, and we're starting to see it more and more. And that wrist injury, which was more than a sprain, he's finally kind of back from. And you're watching him just go through his physicality around the rim, his versatility defensively, the fact that he's not like covering up a weakness. When he comes in, it's just one more thing you got to deal with. He's coming in for two guys who are established quality Big Ten bigs in Kohler and Cooper. And so I think that guy is the biggest opportunity to improve and the guy who will make the biggest difference between what he is now probably and what he is as they get close to March.
David Jaxon next. This fucking sucks. Were you also yelling at the Rebel tight end to fall down and not score so fast? Run 2 more running plays before scoring, and Miami wouldn't have had time to come back. Crap.
One of the worst feelings in football, Jason, and we've had this as Lions fans for years, is when you score too fast before the end of the game.
Yeah.
And your defense isn't going to hold them.
When you have a bad defense, that's when you're like, shit, we scored. Even when you see 19 seconds later, it's like, what?
I mean, 1993 or 94, when the Lions scored with a minute 12 left against the Bears on Labor Day weekend of that year. And
you can't remember players' names, but you remember how much time was on the clock.
I remember a couple things.
It's in that brain of yours.
I just lost an emotional Gus Macker game final here in downtown Lansing.
There's always some trauma attached.
Watch that game, and the Lions score. You just know there's. And then this is back when you knew the Lions weren't very good. So when they lost the opener, it felt like the end of the world. Yeah. And I threw a chair in my parents' dining room. I didn't throw it, but I slammed it over. Lost my TV privileges for a little while.
That was a big deal because he was a huge guy, and I just broke my chair.
I still remember that very, very vividly. I did not get to watch the rest of the NFL slate that day, or Elway, or whatever was going on. That is a story almost worth telling, presented by our friends at Midtown Brewing Company in downtown Lansing. Great place for a date night, drink after work. And I'm telling you, if you're looking for kind of a cool place, it's easy to get to right off the highway in downtown Lansing, however, where you can have a great meal, a good drink, and cozy vibes. Midtown Brewing Company in downtown Lansing.
Did you ever win a Gus Macker? Red Hacker?
The entire thing?
Yeah.
No. I never won a Gus Macker title. Won some toilet bowls. Came really close. Like, it was one of those. I played on a team when I was in middle school that was really good, and we came close. But then nobody grew except me on that team. And all of a sudden we went from being like a bunch of average-sized guys who were pretty good to a bunch of short guys who couldn't play anymore.
All right. David Jaxon, I read that. Did you notice that our first possession of the MSU game was, you guessed it, a badly missed Carr 3-point attempt? Instead of loitering out beyond the 3-point line, has Carr ever considered either setting up about 5 feet closer to the basket or maybe cutting through the lane? And for Mr. Benjen, if Coen isn't the guy to stand in the corner awaiting an open 3, why not park Kohler there?
Yeah, you do have to revamp your offense if that's going to happen consistently. Now, it happened once at the beginning of the game, and it didn't wind up being an issue. It was interesting, like, after that last game, that's exactly where the ball went, and that's exactly what happened out of the gate. Like, Kohler's still got to make those, though. He's playing the wing, and I said Carr's got to make those. Kohler, that's not where Kohler takes most of his shots and makes them. I wouldn't put Kohler there. I don't know that. I'm not saying he's can't make threes from the corner, but that's not what he does best, right? So I wouldn't mess with that a whole lot. But I do think if you're going to leave guys that wide open, if you're Carr, you just got to take it and aggressively go at the basket as soon as you get that ball there, and instead of putting that up.
Next one from David Graham. Without assistance, can you spell Ugachukwu? How about Ralph Mojichenko? About John Wojciechowski? David, what are you doing to me, man? Why do you hate me?
I can spell Ugachukwu because I write it all the time. UGOCHU. It's hard to do without looking. KW. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to say out loud. I'd be bad at the spelling bee. The others, I couldn't even begin to. No.
Can you spell Ralph?
Was it with an F or a PH or 3 L's?
R-A-L-F, apparently, according to David.
Okay.
How exciting radio this is. Zeke, enjoy your next. Do you see Izzo making a change to the starting lineup outside of the 2 spot? Scott for Carr. Also, we have to find a way to get Cam Ward more minutes and touches in the paint now that he is closer to 100%. He's an absolute animal and the best down-low finisher on the team.
Yeah, I don't see him taking out Coen Carr. You know, one of the things you have, first of all, part of managing a team is managing people's egos and confidence and all that sort of stuff. Like, to take out junior Coen Carr for somebody else, and again, starting doesn't really matter all that much unless it matters to you. And so and it matters to Coen Carr. It's why I think starting Kurt Tang would make sense, because it probably matters to him more than it does to a freshman, for example. I think there are times where Scott for Carr, you see them, it gives them something a little different in terms of stretching the floor. Carr gives them a ton, though, still. He's just got to make sure he's doing it consistently, because he does disappear at times. And I'm with you on Cam Ward. I think he's gonna be more and more an impact player.
Ben Jen, why in the world does freaking Northwestern basketball give Izzo so many fits? That was not a comfortable win.
Well, I'll tell you why. A couple things. One, Northwestern's better than their record by a long way.
That's the taint.
And it's almost it's weird that they're as bad as they are record-wise. They're 8-7. Some of the games they've lost because they've got guys that is a better roster.
So, coach,
well, they don't shoot the ball that well, and that's what he's saying is the issue. But I don't know. I think on this particular day, they were happy it was a Thursday night game because they arrived in town and Groovy Donuts was open. And so they all, fired them up, went to Groovy Donuts. It's the type of thing you don't get in Evanston, Illinois, but you get by living here.
Is this a live read?
This is a live read.
Oh,
thank you. Sorry.
You get so good at these, I can't tell.
Yeah, you don't even know it's coming. Yeah. Go to groovydonuts.com if you want to place an order today. Swing on by 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Thursday through Sunday, and that's at Lake Lansing Road in East Lansing. Also in Williamston, make them part of your NFL Sunday. You have a box of Groovy Donuts. If you're going to watch games with people, bring donuts. They'll like having you there. There's some great stuff, including, like, this week, and I'm going to have to get this, the Cinnamon Toast Crunch Bismarck.
Oh, those are
available this week.
Yeah.
It's like 100% worth it, I'm telling you. And the fritter of the month, the sticky bun apple fritter. You've seen me eat an apple fritter. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, the apple fritter is beautiful, not me eating it. But both those things must-gets this month. That's this entire month available at Groovy Donuts. Go to groovydonuts.com, place your order today, or just swing on by either location.
We had the Groovy Donuts people over to our house on Sunday for the Bears-Lions game because, T wanted to have a Bears-Lions party, and I was trying to tell her, not many Lions fans are going to be excited about coming. Anyway, so, of course, Treese goes all out, and we had like a dessert tower.
Yeah.
And I absolutely hammered. My blood sugar was a little low, and I was just hammering it. And I would not realize because I'm watching the game. Yeah. And both Andrew and Monica are just like, holy Jesus, Jason, are you all right? I'm just so, when I rip on you for eating like raccoon graham, every once in a while I catch myself just hammering food. That's why it's better just to be alone, especially if there's like Horrocks popcorn that Jeff Heward was so kind to get us for the holidays. I hammered that thing in a day and a half.
That was really good.
And it's so nice to be by yourself because it's like you just look at the ground. It's like, is Jack Ebling here? Like, what's happening? Like, I just eat like a maniac sometimes.
This has been a rough week for Raccoon Graham. He's been out a lot, and it's
I like how you blame it on that. Well, there's no healthy food options if you're out.
So what happens?
Leave the house, it's over.
It's been in the house has been the problem. I've been working late. Like, so you get multiple games. You're writing late into the night. Yeah, writing about LCC basketball, Michigan State basketball, whatever, up till 3-4 in the morning. And my wife's asleep. And I, if you're not motivated for a minute, I just walk into the kitchen. I find something else. And my wife even said it the other day. She's like, "Wow, Raccoon Graham had a night, huh?" She came down. It was, it was not good.
I know, we're disgusting. Chris Eastlick, why isn't McCullough playing much? He's been solid whenever he's been in. I think we beat Nebraska if he takes some of Coop's minutes on an off night.
I think with McCullough, it's a lot of it has to do with defense and their trust in him there. And I remember watching him close up. We don't sit as low as we used to, so you don't get to see this as much. But I remember watching him close up. And sorry, that was a weird media complaint. I apologize. But it was weird. Down low at the Thanksgiving event in Fort Myers, and watching Izzo interact with him and the things that staff was demanding of him, and him trying to there is a level of toughness and defense that they're trying to get out of him. And for a couple of things, I don't think they fully trusted every game right now. But they also know by next year they desperately need it. Like, this is it for Kohler and Cooper, unless like 5th years of eligibility come around. Yeah. And so they need him to find it. He'll be a part of things.
Get that Carson Beck extension. Why not?
Yeah, well,
2 more years out of these
guys. If I were Michigan State, I would be suing to get another year out of Kohler.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. Have him just come back. What could the NCAA do? What
just show up.
Yeah, just come back.
Just show up.
And these guys are on our team now.
100%.
Still. Chris Eastlick, do you think Izzo and Dusty are on good terms after the half-court incident, or do you think that will be frosty?
Yeah,
I'm not talking about Michigan.
I don't know that the half-court incident will linger a ton there. I don't know that they're all that close, but I don't think you'll see. I don't know. I don't want to say you won't see frostiness because that was really interesting, and so maybe you will, and it'll be such a big game too. I'll be curious to watch that dynamic.
Andrew Gauthier, Jason, can you guys share the reactions you'd have to the Lions landing McDaniels as OC and failing to do so? Like reactions if they don't do it?
If they get him and if they don't.
Oh, if they get him, I'll be rock hard. I'll be like Graham Couch on a treadmill, eating a donut. Yeah, I just think that he's kind of a weird guy. Like, they're already, the announcement yesterday that the Detroit Lions, like a lot of the NFL beat guys were saying that the Lions have contacted McDaniels. I'm happy with that. If he decides, I think he's going to get some head coaching offers. I think the Lions OC job, you tell me if I'm wrong, Graham, I think the Lions OC job is better than half of the jobs that are going to be available out there, and you can definitely take this offense and springboard and go and get a better job, next
100%.
year if you want to just do a one year thing. Absolutely. McDaniels is a genius. I would love to have him. It would be exciting to get a guy like that. I got to say, David Blau, it doesn't excite me. I understand that Dan Campbell's the guy that calls the shots here, and McDaniel, that would be a whole different story, but I would definitely want to do it. And it just, if he ends up going elsewhere, I mean, he's a weird guy. It doesn't bother me. As long as the Lions make an effort. That's all I ask out of my teams. And Brad Holmes with his press conference yesterday, I mean, it was kind of the same old. It was like, I don't know what's going to happen in this offseason either. But
I think the effort's important there. Like, we talk about the Tigers and our frustration, but when we weren't frustrated, it was Bregman, because the rumor, the numbers kind of came out, and it looked like they made a genuine effort to try to sign him last year, right? It wasn't like a lot of these other things. It was like, okay, well, that's not on them. He didn't want to be there. Nothing you can do. Mm-hmm. And I think the same thing with, the fact that they are reaching out, if this,
but it still was kind of a lowball offer for Bregman too, and Bregman kind of knows what goes on in this organization of the Tigers.
Fair enough.
So, just because it's an offer, you can offer someone something knowing there's no way they're going to take that.
But I do think the Lions.
So you shouldn't get credit for
the
those.
Lions OC job, though, is enticing. Yeah. Because you're right on that. Like, you get to take over an offense. It's got a lot of really good parts, and you've seen those coordinator jobs, not just on offense, but you've seen, if you can be part of that culture, and Campbell gets a lot of good pub and all that stuff. You want to go to
Arizona?
Yeah, no.
You want to go to Las Vegas? Those shit show organizations. I mean,
you're gonna have a rookie quarterback in Vegas, but yeah, I would say
but you could. I'm telling you, you could take that Lions OC job and whatever you never know in another season what job openings are going to open. So and maybe you could land like Ben Johnson, where you have a guy like Caleb Williams set already for you. Because I don't know if you go to Las Vegas and you have Mendoza. I mean, I don't know. That's just like a whole freaking rebuild.
And he's like,
this guy is desperate. He wants. I mean, what he had to deal with Tua. And we could come in here and do certain things with this Lions offense.
And he's the antithesis, like in terms of appearance, of Dan Campbell too, which would be funny. Like it would be,
God, I can't wait till the Lions beat writers with their jokes. Oh my God, LOL's coming, baby. A lot of these. Oh God, imagine. Andrew, how long before we know if the MSU football roster is any good? Transfers are intriguing, but so much turnover.
Yeah, I don't think we'll know till they play games. There are some look.
I've been watching Rico Beard's Twitter feed, and I'm getting excited.
Yeah, but I was
another one. I'm like, all right, yeah.
Last spring things looked pretty good too. Like, you know what I mean? It's just
they did not.
Well,
they did not. Don't lie to the people. They did not look good.
Okay, Devin Vaught, the safety from Maine. How much can you tell me about him?
None.
Okay,
I can just tell you what what else do I need to tell you? The fuck is that?
I'm sorry.
You coming at me with that? You just made up some guy from fucking Maine?
No, it's
what can you tell me about that?
No, I didn't make him up. He's there.
This motherfucker.
Sorry, I apologize. No, it is. Look, there have been some guys who are intriguing, and
defending Jonathan Smith's class there. My bad, dude.
I'm sorry. No, there have been some guys that you look at and you go, okay, that guy's. Let's see what that looks like. But that's a good get. And I do think a couple of the guys on the offensive line. That I don't know. That I like the emphasis there. Now they've lost a ton. They've got to replace all these guys. This is a complete reset. So are these guys better than all the guys who left? And what's that look like? There's a long way to go. But there are some guys who. But yeah, we're not going to know until the season starts, and I'm not going to pretend to tell you until the season starts, because that would just be bullshitting you. And if anybody tells you they know, they're bullshitting you. Yeah.
What about that guy from Maine? Spartholomew, if Stout is Stout to blame for the alumni cover streak ending. I heard he said no chance MSU loses to Northwestern at Breslin this week. By the way, shout out to Tim Stout, the winner of the Gold Circle of the Michigan chapter of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences Award.
Is that a real thing?
Dude, I watched it. He almost cried on air. It was great. He choked up at the end when they told him about it. He's like, blah, blah. It was amazing.
Yeah.
What an acronym. They just have these awards, I guess, you can just buy now.
Yeah.
I mean, he deserves it. He's been around for 50 years. I mean,
it's a long joke.
You're not going to go away if you give him an award. You're just giving him an award and go like, all right, man, when's this over here?
Yeah, I mean, longest tenure without going to a press conference.
Dude, the dean.
So he called Human the other day. This is great. So Human is Fred Human. I mean, I felt all of Fred Human. This is the Izzo press conference before the Paul Davis part. But this is the same press conference. And so
and they work together.
Fred and Tim both work for WILX here in Lansing. He's sitting in the back, and Fred always has to answer his phone in the middle of a press conference. Doesn't matter. He can't text. He can't wait until it's over. And Izzo stops. He's like, well, what are we doing here? He goes, it's Tim. I had to tell him where I was at. He's like, it's just these two old guys. It's Tim looking for Fred, and Fred picking up the call in the middle of the Izzo press conference. It's tremendous. It's great.
That's not even the best Fred Human one. The best one was this was 6 years ago when we were all on a text chain, all of us. And so that you and we saw that Fred Human was on. This is when he still had a flip phone. And so you and I just started talking about basketball because we know that Fred hated getting those because he could not turn off the text noise.
Yeah.
So you and I just kept going back and forth talking NBA, and he called me on the phone. You guys stop talking, texting and stuff. I just can't turn this damn thing off. I was fucking laughing so hard.
Tremendous.
Anyway,
tremendous.
I appreciate you guys hearing that. It's boring to most of you. But anyway, are we done with that one?
Yeah.
Max, I've had many questions rolling through my mind pertaining to Spartan athletics lately. Specifically, are any of these portal commitments any good? And are Cam Ward and Jordan Scott the X factors that will put us over the top? But I keep coming back to this. When did empathy become a weakness? And why did our leaders decide that we should no longer be that beacon on the hill that the rest of the world looked to for moral guidance?
Yeah, we gotta survive the next couple of years. We just gotta, it's not good. It's not. I don't know what to tell you. If you start thinking about big picture stuff, and you got to focus on Cam Ward and Jordan Scott,
get high,
and live in your own world, and touch grass and get offline, and
3 TVs, watch sports,
and don't
think about it.
The statements coming out of some people. It's remarkable, and not just that.
You talking about Paul Davis?
Yeah, Paul Davis. Actually, you know what? Paul Davis, if he was the head of Department of Homeland Security, would have given a better statement. That would have been could have had Paul Davis. For sure. We missed one from Spartholomew.
Oh my God, dude! I'm so sorry. Who's your favorite get for MSU in the portal so far? And from Corey Ostrom. Graham, what are your thoughts on the portal actions by Coach Fitzgerald thus far as an objective journalist that just happens to cover MSU sports?
Yeah, I mean, he's been active. there's been nobody that you looked at and go, holy crap. I mean, I don't want to. There have been.
Tell me about Lane Thompson from Maine. Go ahead. I can't believe you came at me, bro.
I'm sorry.
It's unbelievable.
I apologize. That was a mean thing. It was a mean thing to do
for Jonathan Smith's recruiting class. This guy's coming at me.
The tackle from UConn, Ben Morawski, looks
like a beast.
Yeah, I mean, there are guys. There are guys who look. There are some guys in this group that are intriguing, and the Trent Fraley, the North Dakota State kid. And I like that some of these guys they brought in have multiple years. One of the things I do think this stands out. So we don't know what some guys are going to be. But you bring in an offensive tackle from UConn who's got 2 years left. You bring in
what's the Taysom Hill guy from Ferris, the multi-back guy?
Yeah,
White
2 years.
Guy.
2 years left. Carson Gulker.
Tell me about Carson Gulker, coach.
You bring in Trent Fraley from North Dakota State, redshirt junior. Got another year left. Robert Wright, the Georgia Southern offensive tackle, redshirt sophomore, 3 years of eligibility left. So I like it when they're bringing in guys who are not just 1 year guys, because I think you do want to try to build something here a little bit and sustain guys, and I think that's especially up front because anybody who's a 1 year guy, my level of the level of buzz for that, where MSU is right now, I struggle to find it.
Shep next. During their game, the announcer mentioned that Indiana's roster this season was in the $40 million range, while Bama's was $16 million. I saw that Indiana's new quarterback next year will be getting $5+ million. Additionally, Indiana is paying their DC $3 million and their OC over $1 million. Are we positive MSU is prepared to spend that? That's what it takes to compete for a Big Ten title, much less a natty. If you aren't ready to spend at the IU level, it's not realistic to say you expect to compete at the top of the conference.
Well, $40 million is not. I do not think that's what Indiana's roster. I think that's incorrect. I do not think that's correct, and I don't think Bama's $16 million is rev share. Bama guarantee I had $16 million for rev share, so that's no additional NIL. So I don't think your numbers there are correct, Shep. But there is what's going on in Indiana now. Certainly,
it's Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban donated again, right?
Yeah, and you can get. I mean, if you get buzz going, people will get excited. What you have to create at Michigan State and most places, and Indiana eventually, is you have to make sure your system is something that's sustainable, because you have to be able. You're going to have years where there's a lot of buzz. The year that Michigan State went 10-2 with Mel Tucker, there was a minute where donations were doing pretty well. I mean, people were fired up for You need to be able to stand the year after that, and have something that allows you to build through every season. But yeah, what's going on in Indiana now is incredible. They'll probably have a $30 million roster next year, and Michigan State, at some point will need to be there too, because you don't need to be the top spender, but you need to be in the ballpark. You can't, you've got to be able to have the money to get the type of guys it takes to win, or retain the type of guys it takes to win, and recruit the type. Yeah, all that stuff matters. And so whatever the ballpark is near the top, you got to be in that range.
Shep next. Graham trying to get Ebeling, Solari, or whoever to ask Bulla about the Rose Bowl reminds me of a 9th grader that talks about how hot the girls at the next lunch table are, but is scared to go talk to them. Is trying to be to bully his friend to do so, to do it instead.
I have been that 9th grader, but this is no such thing.
God, I was deathly afraid
of girls.
Oh my God! Yeah. I asked Sarah Taylor out in 7th grade. She said yes, and the next day I went to school. I ignored her. I walked by her. I was so effing.
She was probably excited. She probably told her parents about you.
Dude, her and her sister. She had twin sister Erica Taylor. And yeah, dude, I could not. I was so embarrassed. And I wasn't embarrassed. I was just so scared. What happened to me as a child?
But that was your out though. You could have said, "I thought it was your twin sister." I'm sorry, I
had nothing like that. Yeah, no, absolutely not. I just ignored her. I asked her out and then ignored her.
So where did this go? What happened?
Nothing. We never actually went out. We sat next to each other at the lunch table. I didn't say anything. What is she supposed to do? I don't blame her.
Did she eventually break it off with you, or there
was no breaking off anything? It was just we would talk on the phone, Mark Middleton and I, because he was trying to hook up with Erica Jennings. Or not Jennings, Erica, Taylor. And then so we had the sisters going on. Erica actually turned him down. Anyway, story no one cares. But
it's a story we're telling, presented by Midtown Brewing Company. If you have somebody you've asked out in life, one great place to take them, Midtown Brewing Company. Like, instead of just walking by them and ignoring them, take them to Midtown Brewing Company. They will like you. Maybe it'll lead somewhere. Jason might have had a whole different life.
Dude, it happened in high school, too. Katie Rassinen, she actually agreed. What was the Sadie Hawkins dance? Like, they brought a flower. Like, girls could get guys flowers, and she got me one. And I still, oh, my God.
What did you
such
do?
a lame ass. I don't know. I didn't do anything. I couldn't make it. There was no moves made. My friend Rory Noppy, he was able to make moves. Her friend was kind of a W word, if you know what we're saying. And, like, so he got hit. And I don't know. We sat on the couch, and I just couldn't even look at her. Embarrassing.
Oh, man, this
So
is going to make
nervous.
some great IA memes from Matt Drillette. Jason's high school and middle school days.
I didn't think of that. Yeah. Oh, man, it's so embarrassing.
Tremendous.
That really hit home, Shep. Like, when I read that, I was like, damn, that's a great analogy because that hit home for me.
Yeah. No, one thing you can also do is bring Groovy Donuts. If somebody in your life is, you're trying to icebreaker, Groovy Donuts. It's a good, maybe don't, I wouldn't have somebody watch me if I eat the fritter if I wasn't already married to them, but bring them a fritter. It's a great way to go. To your point, like,
Turn around. Don't watch this.
The only person who's talked to Bull at this point is Ebling. That's why I was on him to do it. Like, he got him on the radio. Like, nobody else has had him. Like, so you have him. Don't ask for him if you're not going to ask the question. That would be my take. Right?
What would be the reason not to ask? I mean, is he going to get that offended? I mean, he can just say, like, it's something I'm not going to talk about, right?
It's your job.
It's not a big deal. Like, if you don't want to talk about it, I get it. Spartholomew, does the Lions reaching out to McDaniel give you hope that this regime is serious about winning a Super Bowl? Well, I think they're serious about winning a Super Bowl. I think that what's curious is that Dan Campbell has fired 2 OCs already. So this next one, if it is McDaniel, I mean, this is a perfect fit. I just don't know how. I don't know why McDaniel would say no to us, but
yeah, I mean,
unless there's some team offers him some crazy deal, I get that, right? But
it would be a good gift. It would be a really good gift.
Some dude, if Brad Holmes says that Monty needs to be in a situation where they use his skill set better, can't Detroit make our situation better for him here, like it previously was? Why do we have to trade him? No trade value there compared to the type of player he is.
I don't know that I'd get rid of him either. I don't really understand this. I mean, he's under contract. He's a really
not a
valuable
crazy contract either.
No, he's a really valuable player. And also, he plays a position where, you don't want there to be an injury, but if there is, like, he's a capable starting back if he's got to be the guy for a couple
But it depends
weeks.
on what kind of role he thinks he deserves. I mean,
Right.
We haven't heard from David Montgomery yet. I mean, if he thinks, like, he wants to get 20 touches a game, I don't think it's going to be here.
It won't be.
Right. So I think he's a valuable guy that you can bring him in on third and short situations. I mean, especially if you have a good offensive line, that's the main thing. It's like, if you don't have an offensive line, Montgomery's worthless anyway. Yeah. So, but yeah, he's a guy that I definitely would want to keep. I don't get it either. Some dude, Couch, how is the Mullings stomping story coming along? Is it only coaches that need to meet fans where they are? What about your Couch and the Rube audience? You know that aside from like 3 dudes on this show, we all hate scum pretty badly. Also, Couch's Tom Mars fucks declaration was the funniest thing he's ever said. Love the show. Who's Tom Mars?
Is the lawyer, is Harbaugh's attorney. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
When did you say that? Okay.
Last episode. I believe it. But you black out? Yeah, probably.
Black out. I mean, T does the same thing when I get back. I was like, I said that? Oh.
Yeah.
Shows are 3 hours in the heat.
Yeah, I did reach out to Mullins, at the time. He never got back to me. But, yeah. There's still, every once in a while, for a while I was getting these, on Twitter, there were people, like, reaching out saying, "Have you apologize, Couch, apologize." And I was like, apologize? Like, the guy clearly did something, or if he didn't, he hasn't explained it. Like, why would I
apologize? Go up in that podium where Paul Davis was.
Don't ever let yourself get to the point with your team where you feel like you need to defend your team against somebody else. Like, that's not your life.
Yeah, but against you, though, I could understand.
But that's not your life. Mullins doesn't care about you.
But maybe they're just normal people outside of just you.
These are not normal.
And then they
people.
just DM you. Maybe you have like that little thing that sets them off.
These are not normal people.
Kurt Wisniewski, this portal season for MSU football has revealed a true teardown and rebuild. What side of the ball will see the most improvement? Tell them you don't know, Couch.
Yeah. No, my guess is it's defensively, because that's the area where I think you're going to see a different different approach a little bit. And even though it's the same coordinator, I just think that's a an emphasis that I if I had to guess, I would say it was defensively. You're going to have the same quarterback, but a lot of this will depend on the line of scrimmage and where are they better there, where are they rebuilt that, and that's your answer, right? If they're obviously trying to rebuild the line of scrimmage. If they are more successful at doing that on the offensive side, then it'll be that, and if it's the defensive side, it'll be that.
Kurt Wisniewski, how did MSU miss out on Chambliss when he was at Ferris State?
Well, a lot of people did.
Aw, shucks.
Yeah, no, and they had guys. So the year he went to, hold on one second, let me get this.
I am the passenger.
That's the tape.
And I ride and I ride.
Okay, so fucking everybody masturbates. Yeah, it was just last year. So, great quarterback, but they had Aiden Childs, right? They had other guys they're recruiting. Obviously he's been fantastic, but Michigan State didn't think that was a position of need at the time.
John Colmer next. Graham, in your sit-down with Jay Batt, did you make your plea to reinstate courtside media seats for your necessary anatomical, is that right, scouting of thigh widths?
Good point.
Can't imagine Jay had any objections. Bonus, if you're sick, stay home couch. Jason is fortunate for the glass partition.
Yeah, this studio
sounded terrible.
I was fine. I would not have come in if I wasn't. I felt I looked sounded nasally, but I'd been fine since like Sunday evening.
You still sound nasally. You sound like you're all gunked up a little.
I'm not
like
though. I'm not. I can't get rid of the sound. Yeah, I haven't blown my nose in 2 days. I don't know. It's not. I haven't.
Is that normal?
Am I supposed to be blowing my nose?
I don't know. I just feel like a mucus, kind of.
I'm fine. It's just
48 hours.
It's the remnants of a former head cold. It was nothing serious. You're talking to a germaphobe here. I'm with that. I would not put Jason in any harm's way.
Yeah, I'm not worried. Sparty Party 94. Was Alessio staying that big of a deal? Seems like a guy whose best trait was his toughness isn't that great. Could have upgraded in the portal.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm sure there are guys out there, but I think he showed enough that you want to see what you have there. And especially if you got a guy who can be a multi-year quarterback for you. And you don't want to get in the habit as you build these things. There's still a dance to this. You don't want to get in the habit of just like discarding guys who've been in the program, who've earned starting roles, have shown potential, and then recruiting over them. There's
Well, he's not guaranteed the job, right? Is he guaranteed
he's going to be
starting
the
job?
You think Cam Fancher's going to beat him out, the new quarterback?
Tell me about Cam Fancher.
Well, he played it against Michigan State in that game. He's got good feet. He's got all that. He's not
right. Isn't it open competition starting in spring here? Or are we just going Alessio?
I would say bust? I'd be very surprised if it's not Alessio.
Really,
they're in trouble. I think if Cam Fancher's the starter.
Wow.
I think he was brought in to be the backup.
No offense to Cam.
No offense.
Jay Riemenschneider, in a vacuum, who's the better coach, Fitz or Willingham? And who's the better fit for what's going on at their new team? Losing records, scandals, fan pressure, etc. And handling today's college football landscape, both are good coaches, but could struggle at bigger schools in this new age.
So, who's the better fit for what's going on at their team? It's hard to know. Willingham was a good hire given the circumstances. Now he is, we talked about that sort of West Coast guy coming in, that doesn't really have any animus towards Ohio State. Does that matter? It matters if you lose to Ohio State because people start getting annoyed by that. I don't. This is something that's to be determined because part of what's happening right now in college coaching, by the way, there are lots of good coaches out there. You got to find a fit, and then you got to find a guy who gives you a chance. And I think both coaches do, but there are no home run hires in this day and age because so few people have proven they can do it. Now, I'd say Willingham has proven it to some degree. But 10 years from now, there will be home run hires again, right? Guys who have done it in the system that exists. But we're just not there. Most of these guys sort of built their reputations in a different era, and now they're existing in this era.
But couldn't you say it's Fitzgerald just because of what he did at the end of his Northwestern kind of regime? Like, now that he got a second chance, like, he's going to be even more amplified to not, have those mistakes happen again. Not saying Willingham won't, but he's not been a part of that Michigan program to see it. Fitzgerald was in the Big Ten. I
think in terms of Big Ten fit, Fitzgerald is it because he understands the culture of Michigan State probably better. Yeah. But in terms of who's a quality football coach, and Willingham will have tons of resources, and I think he's
a guy that not many Michigan fans wanted. And you could say the same about Fitzgerald. Michigan State fans, remember when you brought it up initially, people were like, are you fucking crazy?
Yeah, I think it was mixed.
So, yeah.
Yeah, both of them, yeah.
Jay Riemenschneider. You asked Jason, can his friend Jordan feel shame for being a Michigan fan? Why should fans feel shame? We didn't do anything wrong. Of course, nobody wants scoundrels around, but we're just fans. We have nothing to do with any bad happenings and no power to remove the perpetrators.
Well, Jay, if all fans were like you would be 100% correct here. And I agree, and to an extent, the where your argument falls apart is there are lots of fans who spend time on social media and elsewhere defending at all costs, regardless their program.
Or like the Michigan fan I ran into that talked about the DoorDash. Is the DoorDash driver going to get fired for letting it known that Plan B pills were being delivered? I mean, that's where they started it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Talking to those kind of Michigan fans.
So, yeah, I mean, there should be, if you're defending behavior at all costs, which there are fans in every fan base that will just stand up for people, and it's worse certain place, and I think Michigan is one of those places that, at least publicly on social media, is worse than some. That's
every
where you
school
should feel
has
shame.
them. It
But
just
every
seems
school.
like Michigan has a lot more. Mojo Jojo, would D'Antonio have been as successful as Signetti in program building in the current era? Would have been able to adapt. See a lot of similarities in demeanor, approach, toughness. But Sig can reload like a pack of cigs for prison rube.
So the question really to me here,
County jail rube. But
yeah, 72 days county jail. Yeah.
Good behavior.
What was it? What was the original sentence?
90.
90. 18 days.
90
off.
large.
Wow, that's
yeah. It's a hell of a bid.
Do you remember what you were thinking when they gave you the?
Didn't give a shit.
Yeah, because you didn't want the probation, right? Yeah.
That was it. But I was so fed up with all of it, and I just knew my life was in shambles. So I had to fuck it. Let's run it. And anyway,
story worth telling. If you get one last meal before you go to jail at any point, Midtown Brewing Company in downtown Lansing, not all that far from. Well, actually, it is a little ways from the jail, but the. Sorry, this is a bad live read. Well, this was
within walking distance.
Yeah, walking distance.
Of the old city jail.
Of the old city jail, right. The to the question though, the better way to look at D'Antonio, D'Antonio at the end would not have succeeded. Like D'Antonio being there now would have not. But peak D'Antonio, when that staff was hungry and winning early, if the system had been this, like if they had sort of gotten their opportunity in the middle of this system, it would have been interesting. They might have had a chance because they were really effective. They were disciplined. I mean, Signetti to me feels a little more cutthroat, and I think that helps him. But both guys are Saban disciples. A lot of the guys still playing right now, right? Saban disciples. It's although Mel Tucker, Saban disciple. So it's not Saban's got a lot of disciples at this point.
We don't have enough time for all of that.
It would have been interesting if you take.
You hit the nail on the head though, cutthroat.
Yeah, I think that's
Signetti had it.
That's the difference.
Or has
maybe.
it?
Yeah.
Mojo Jojo, do I have to root for Indiana? Well, yeah, if you got money on it.
The Indiana story is great. You don't have to, but I'm rooting.
You don't have
for
to be one of the Big Ten people that.
I mean,
I got my team in the Big Ten.
Yeah, and Oregon's kind of lame. They've done it before. It's Phil Knight University. Okay, we get it. Who the hell? I mean, if Oregon plays Miami, I'll watch the game, but I won't give it. I mean,
I have some compassion for being a fan of some of my favorite teams, just with these droughts, and you want to root for the people. In
terms of Indiana. I mean,
I don't want it to happen for a decade, but
right.
I mean, this season, I don't know if I got money on it.
Yep.
I'm just saying. I like a good story, and Signetti is that right now. Ken Shu, have you noticed how many people are watching the Couch and the Rube show on YouTube these days? Used to be me and 6 other people live. Now it's often 100 plus.
Yeah, it's grown significantly. I mean, we're over. We're like 1,500 a show for.
If we would have started on YouTube,
it would have
promoted it at all. By the way, like and subscribe.
Yes,
please.
More live and a lot of.
You have to do that.
It's still we're still much. Most of our audience is still the podcast, but we very much appreciate the YouTube audience, and it's grown significantly.
Me and 6 other people.
We appreciate you.
We appreciated that at the time.
Absolutely.
Anyway, Ken Chu, do you think Penn State would have beat Michigan if Mingo had played?
No, but here's the thing. The Penn State-Michigan basketball game that came down to the end, first of all, it shows Michigan's capable of an off night where they're a little unfocused. But, Michigan's a lot better than Penn State with whoever they have. And so you need the off night, and that would have changed other dynamics. I don't know that it would have made a difference. But I think it certainly showed that Michigan is actually a college basketball team and not just a team that's going to beat everybody by 30 on the way to a national title.
John Naughty next. Do you think MSU basketball is playing to the level of its competition game to game this season?
No, not at all. I mean, we've seen a couple moments of it, but look what they did to Kentucky. Look what they did to North Carolina. They pulled away.
What happened to Kentucky, by the way?
That's a bad deal.
Jeez.
That's
Mark Pope.
$22 million roster.
Oof.
That's not good.
Begging for Calipari back. That's all I see on Twitter.
It's not good.
All right, Sparty Barb next. Could MSU run their offense through Kerr Tang when Fears is sitting? He is vocal on the floor and is becoming more aggressive around the rim. Divine can be a bit passive, and Wojcik is too spastic.
I don't. Kerr Tang is not somebody who, is a creator with the ball in his hands. Really works. But I do look
for short minutes though. We're not talking about a certain amount of minutes. We're talking just to foul trouble, or to give a guy a blow.
I think Kerr Tang's going to have. I mean, Kerr Tang has more potential than he's given, and we're seeing it. I mean, he's been a better rebounder lately, and he's. I still like Kerr Tang's future. I think one of the problems is, it used to be freshman year was. I mean, there were elite players, but if you weren't like an elite player, your freshman year was you get your feet wet. Sophomore year, you start to show some things. Junior and senior year, your performance years, right? That used to be the old way of college basketball, and for some guys, it still is. Like, Fears has not shown anything to me. Not Fears, sorry. Kerr Tang has not shown anything to me where he's a bust, and what he isn't is, he's not Gary Harris out of the gate as a shooting guard or anything like that, and he has some limitations. But he can be a really effective player that I think you'd still want in your program, and you'd want to get the junior and senior years out of him if you can. Now, he may leave and decide, they're bringing in a heck of a shooting guard next year. They've got other guys. Like, he may not decide to stay, but I still think he's got pretty good potential to be a good Big Ten player.
Next one from Sparty Barb. Are vaccines mandatory for MSU athletes? We get pimped every year by illness.
It's because none of these guys know how to handle it right. They get the flu. Like, I get he's got a mask on, but Divine, send him home when he's got the flu. He's you're wearing a. You
came in here, you had the same thing.
I'm not. Am I sitting shoulder to shoulder with you for 2 hours?
No,
there,
not right now.
Go. I wouldn't do that, and I didn't have the flu.
Oh,
I had a head cold, and it was over by the time I came in.
Mm.
And
right, you win that one.
Yeah. So
right,
I still remember the time that, like, Brandon Dawson didn't play because he had the flu, and he was like sitting next to everybody on the bench. And I was like, if I was part of the program,
that's pre-COVID though.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Germs work the same way. If you don't want this shit to run through your teams, you get a guy out of there and don't let it run through your teams. That's what happens. And nobody, and these guys aren't alone. Every one of these teams does it. I mean, you share a basketball. I mean, there's germs, and you watch them touch their eyes and their face, and
well, you have an immune system for a reason.
Yeah,
I mean, it's supposed to work. You're not supposed to be in a boy in the bubble all the time.
No, but I'm saying if somebody gets
sick.
Don't
pass me that ball.
And look, there are games where, the Jordan flu game, it's in the finals, right? There are games where you're going to play
that
through
was a hangover. That wasn't the flu.
Or food poisoning or whatever it might have been. Yeah. Could have been anything.
Chris, rank the Detroit GMs by who you trust the most. Brad Holmes, Trajan Langdon, Scott Harris, and Steve Yzerman.
What do you got here?
Scott Harris is all the way down 4, right? Because Yzerman, he goes at 3 because I just don't know what I understand people complain, but I don't follow, hockey that closely. I haven't seen Langdon. I can't really. It's tough to put him at 1 right now because I haven't really seen him made any. I mean, the fact that he hadn't traded for Anthony Davis, who got hurt the other night. It was last night where he broke his hand or something. I just could not imagine trading for that guy. So he hasn't done that. So I trust him. So I'd still put Brad Holmes 1 right now.
I would,
because I have to because I can't put him down any lower.
Well,
right?
And to me, Langdon hasn't been put in the situations Holmes is yet. Like Holmes was great early, and Langdon's been great early. But there will come times where you have to make hard decisions, and that's when we'll find out about Langdon.
Yeah.
Or if this team isn't enough before they make another big move, and when that gets discovered, then what is that move, and how do you build around it? But yeah, Holmes is still 1. Holmes has done things with the Lions despite what's happening.
Did you hear that presser yesterday?
It wasn't great.
Yeah. Big John Hogg considering moving back down to the Lansing area.
Oh yeah.
Which neighborhood or part of town or suburb would you choose to live in? We all know which one it isn't, Graham. I don't have that kind of money anyway.
Yeah, stay the fuck out of White Hills.
Dude, come out to Ovid, Big John.
Cliche, yeah.
Come out to Ovid. I could find you a spot, man.
Yeah, it depends what kind of life you like. If you want suburban living, country living, city living. One of the things I love about
steal a cat.
You want to steal a cat?
Somebody's cat. They don't say shit.
West Side neighborhood, about a mile west of downtown, is phenomenal. We would welcome you very, very, very happily. and I think you'd like it. You find a lot of great old homes. If you want to live outside of town, I mean, like, Grand Ledge, good place. Probably stay out of Holt. Oakham is a little cliche. We can chat later. I can work this through with you. Yeah.
We'll give you a breakdown.
Yeah.
Big John Hogg, if both of you had to teach a class about anything, what would it be and why?
Great question. What would you teach?
How to survive being this stupid. To make it to, I'm going to be 47 in April. I could teach people some things. If you're a certain IQ like mine, it can help you out. I don't know. What would I teach a class about? I mean, I'd love to teach a class about golf, just, a golf class or something like golf history.
Yeah.
Just to be able to talk to people about golf a lot. I'd like to talk about golf.
I would teach people like Jonathan
golf.
Smith how to communicate. I'd work on that.
Really?
What to say, how to say it. Yeah.
You think you could fix them?
I don't know.
I don't know if that's fixable.
Yeah, I don't know either. But I would work with coaches on communication. Yeah, that would be my big. That would be my big thing. Yeah. No, I would take an inner city tennis program.
Right now, either
teach
you're
them
stuttering or I'm not picking it up because it's a whoa.
That's you communicating with a coach. We have it on tape. Alex Mayer, it's been 2 straight games that Jaxon hasn't recorded a double-double. Time to move him to the bench? Don't let Jeff Kohler hear that shit.
Not quite.
Break through this wall.
I
love Jeff, by the way.
Yeah, no, Jackson's gonna be just fine. Yeah, I didn't know until after the game that he was a little under the weather yesterday, but he still hit.
Put a mask
shots
on.
Yeah.
Come on, Jackson.
Well, no, there are guys who are important enough. It's just you got to play through. You got to win the Big Ten.
Grind.
Yeah.
Alex Mayer, if you were an odds maker, where would you put MSU's over/under for losses for the rest of the regular season?
Well, let me give you this. Hold on, give me some offer.
Through the city's backside, I see the stars come out of the sky.
So, Ken Palm has them losing 3 more games. Michigan at home, 75-71. Purdue on the road, 74-66. And Michigan on the road. But you'd said it more than that because the predicted record still is like 24-7. So I would put it 4.5 the rest of the way, over under. And if they're healthy, I think they could go under. If they can stay healthy, because you look at their record or their games coming up. Indiana at home, they ought to win. Decent team, but they ought to win. Washington was playing really well, and that's a road game. But they lost a couple in a row, but they're only predicted to win that by 4. That'll be a good game. Oregon, I don't know what's happened there this year. Like, they're 83 in Ken Palm. That road trip out west is a game they really ought to. They can get 2 out west without dropping one. Those are teams they're better than, but tricky. You go all the way out there, 2 games, decent talent. But if they get through that, they should get to the Michigan game before they're tested in a way they can lose. They have Illinois at home, which is like a predicted 1-point win down the road. Wisconsin on the road. There's some games, but like this team has also shown a pretty consistent show until last night. That first half, really, they've been pretty consistent about showing up night in and night out against teams they should beat.
Scott, is Coen Carr around that 25 to 26 minutes a night the right amount of minutes right now? Gives you more minutes to Scott and Ward, who are growing into the season, and Carr gets to go all out in shorter spurts.
Yeah, I mean, the key is going all out, because you see it. He gets this mindset where all of a sudden he's effective, and he's attacking the paint, he's attacking the glass, and you see the difference maker he can be, and nobody is like him on the break. That dunk he had last night, that was
amazing.
It was like the moment that you thought, oh, they're going to be okay. Like the momentum he gives them is different than any other player can give. But he's got to bring it, and so I would let him dictate that. Like, to me, he can play 30 if he's the best version of Coen Carr. If he's not,
when Carr took off, I was like, what the fuck is he? Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow. It's amazing. Scott, how does this MSU team draw so many lane violations? It's never just one guy. Do opponents get overly aggressive, crashing the boards because MSU, especially with someone like Kohler, is so good at offensive rebounding?
It's a good question. I've seen it more this year than I think I've ever remembered it. Like, you can almost predict it. I don't know if
that doesn't happen everywhere, like injuries.
Well, I wonder if there are a couple guys on the team who have like a hitch in their shot or something, where it's like just guys like falling into the lane before the ball goes up. I'm going to start paying attention to it more. And actually, it may at some point be worth an interesting story if you go back and track them. Because I don't.
How interesting.
Probably not that interesting.
How many words you doing?
Yeah, but there's some games out there. The Rutgers game. There's some games where you're gonna have to really dig deep to find interest.
That's a lot of tape to crush.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at
there's AI.
I'm looking at the travel schedule, and I'm like, right now I'm planning to go to the Rutgers game. But God, what sort of subscriber column do you pull out of that game right now? They're 158 in KenPom.
Lane violation column.
There you go. Boom. Pay for that at the LSJ,
Hell yeah.
please. Yeah.
Scott, the MSU football staff getting Cam Fancher as a backup. Is it possible they have some short yardage or goal line packages for a guy that runs it well?
Here's what I like about the Cam Fancher get is he's got a ton of experience. I like a few things. One, he knows he's not being brought in to be the guy. And so it means you're also paying well enough for your backup quarterback and prioritizing that in your rev share, NIL, whatever it is, that you've got the money to do that. And I think that's an important thing in college. You do not want – we've seen Alessio take a lot of hits. You don't want a guy to be – a quarterback to be your whole season rides on that, right? But Fancher's had a lot of reps at a pretty decent level, and he's got quick feet. And some of what I think you want in a backup quarterback is somebody who's a little different than the starter, and that can be difficult to deal with. If you've prepped for one thing, we saw this was it the Packers game with Malik Willis when Jordan Love first got hurt, right? And all week you've spent your time prepping for one guy, and another guy comes in. All of a sudden, you're not planning to spy on the quarterback, and he can run, and there's all this sort of stuff. I often think having a backup in the short term that is different than your starter is really valuable. In the long term, it can screw things up. But I don't think they'll. Maybe they've told him that. I don't know, but I don't think he's being brought in to do anything but back up Alessio.
Original Dark Mantonio, why do you think it is that some in the age 60 and over crowd like one school over the other, but can root for both MSU and Michigan when they are playing other teams? Was fan hate, especially on the Spartan side, not as deep decades ago?
I think people just get more mature. And Twitter didn't exist. So if you're like over 60, and there are over 60-year-olds who hate Michigan and vice versa, but
I'm not talking about Michigan.
You're probably more reasonable. You grew up in an era where you just the trash talk was over a water cooler. It wasn't like this smug, spiteful bullshit that's online these days. It just didn't exist. So you don't have your feelings are probably different.
Oh yeah, what about Duffy Doherty? Is that what they said around the water cooler?
That's what they said.
Original Jason on a previous show, Graham said Fitz might be better at Michigan than Sharon, and you laughed. Was that because you didn't think his personality could work at Michigan? Or you thought he's not a good coach, and now do you feel about Fitzgerald as MSU's coach? Well, Original, I was probably laughing because I was thinking about a guy trying to kill himself with a butter knife. That was funny. I don't know. Other than that, I don't know.
I don't think you remember it either, do you?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Fitzgerald as MSU's coach?
I think it's a good fit. It's a solid fit, solid hire. Great man, great family man.
There you go.
Matt, how much has Ward's wrist injury hampered his shooting and offensive output? Unless he is dunking, he seems fairly limited. Don't think I've seen him take a jumper since pre-injury.
I think it's a ton. It's limited him. And it's not just for a while it was the actual range of motion he didn't have. And then it's confidence. You got to get that back. And he wasn't a guy who was taking a lot of threes and everything. They need him to be real comfortable finishing around the rim without dunks, and I think he's getting back there. But, yeah, no, I think it affected him greatly.
Thomas, MSU's offense seemed to be stagnant a bit when defenders brought the big guys out to the perimeter and clogged passing lanes. How might Izzo solve this?
Don't coach my team.
Well, hold on one second. Sorry, I lost my place here.
You want to take a break?
Yeah, let's take a really quick break. We'll come back and do this again. I totally fucked up. I was looking at that, and then I closed something out, and I lost it. And
someone unplugged Couch. We got to plug him back in.
Sorry, we'll get right back to it. Couch in the Roof, our Friday show presented by our friends
Just say it's
at Firekeepers and Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook on Front 43 Neighborhood Pub and Cask and Company Kitchen and Bar.
Where else can you cheer on your team, enjoy a mouth-watering burger or savory sushi, sip on handcrafted cocktails, or one of 46 beers on tap? Take your game day or date night to Cask & Company Kitchen Bar or Front 43 Neighborhood Pub near Frandor. 2 amazing places with 1 awesome blended modern American Asian menu. Catch the game on one of 30 60-inch TVs or stop in for the all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. Enjoy happy hour or elevate your night out at Cask & Company or Front 43 on East Saginaw in Lansing. Ever wonder how comfortable you can be and how good you can look? Put on a Muskox flannel and find out. Muskox has new arrivals for this fall, including the Caper Green Grand Flannel, which even makes couch look good. Muskox is a Detroit-based flannel company that creates soft and durable flannels made to last a lifetime. They become a great partner with Couch in the Rube, not just because they make us look good and feel good, but because they're good people too, and a socially conscious company. For every $100 purchase, $10 is donated to the Alaska Wildlife Conservation. Muskox flannels are designed with 100% cotton that is ethically sourced and double brushed for softness. Feel the quality and comfort of a Muskox flannel by ordering at gomuskox.com, where Couch in the Rube listeners can enjoy $15 off their flannel purchase with the promo code HOFF. Come enjoy irresistible, award-winning, handcrafted donuts and locally roasted coffee at Groovy Donuts. Surprise your family or coworkers with special holiday designs and flavors, or put the perfect finishing touch on an event with a custom order. Birthdays, weddings, gender reveals, our friends at Groovy Donuts are your answer. Experience the Groovy Donuts difference for yourself on Lake Lansing Road in East Lansing or in Williamston. Get more information or place an order at groovydonuts.com. If you're looking for a relaxed vibe, great food, and an outstanding beer selection, Midtown Brewing Company in downtown Lansing is your place. Enjoy their famed chicken and waffle fries, fish and chips, or any of their delicious burgers or salads. Midtown Brewing Company also offers 40-plus beers on tap, including ciders and seasonal offerings and daily happy hour specials. The spacious and cozy vibe makes Midtown Brewing Company a perfect place for a beer with a friend, a work lunch, or to watch the games on its big screen TVs. If you'd rather eat at home, Midtown Brewing Company offers a terrific carry-out menu and free delivery on orders of $20 or more. Visit MidtownBrewingCompany.net or stop by 402 South Washington in downtown Lansing for the Midtown Brewing Company experience.
Couch in the Rube, our Friday show presented by our friends at Firekeepers Casino and Casino and Sportsbook app and Front 43 Neighborhood Pub and Cask & Company Kitchen and Bar. An awesome place for a date night or any occasion, of course. And one of the great things they have is they have this reservation system because they do get busy on the weekends. If you're going to have a date night or whatever, go to caskandcompany.com, make a reservation. You can type in whether you want a booth, which side you want to be on. Same menu at both Front 43 and Cask & Company, but one side's a little more pubish, the other side a little more restauranty. So whatever you're looking for, Front 43 and Cask & Company and caskandcompany.com. Back to your Groovy Donut Twitter questions. I've been plugged back in. I apologize. Let me just – the one Jason read before the break was simply that MSU's offense seemed to stagnate a bit when defenders were brought to the big guys brought the big guys out to the perimeter and clogged passing lanes. How can Izzo solve this? I didn't see that as a huge issue. I think obviously defenders are going to come out and deal with Jaxon Kohler, but usually that opens things up inside. Usually that helps. One of the things I think you want as a big guy who can shoot is that you drive, right? If you got big guys coming out, if you got passing lanes clogged, go to the hole. I mean, that's what you do.
Thomas, is Chris Collins the whiniest coach in the Big Ten?
Do you find Chris Collins whiny?
I think it's the Collins family face. Like Doug Collins, he had a whiny face.
Okay.
And his son looks like Doug.
Yeah.
His dad, Doug. The Collins I just think they have whiny faces. I mean, all these guys complain and bitch, right?
I have an affinity for Doug Collins. Maybe it's just Northwestern coaches, Pat Fitzgerald, Doug Collins, all these guys, Chris Collins. But Doug Collins was, you talk about Pistons fandom times in our lives, and obviously the peak was for us when we were like 9, 10 years old, the Bad Boys.
Oh, yeah.
But then that mid-'90s, they get Grant Hill, trading for Theo Ratliff. They got Don Reed, Lou Rowe, all those, Lindsey Hunter. Like those,
Billy Curley.
Billy Curley, yeah. Good gosh. I forgot.
From Boston College?
Absolutely. I remember. Good name recall there, man. That era, you're 15 years old. There's a love for something. So I've always, I think, liked Chris Collins through that affinity for Doug Collins. And I've had a number of good conversations with Chris. He's been
see, there's the real. That's why he likes him. He saves it till the end.
Yeah,
he doesn't look through me.
He does not. He's not somebody. He's not Jim. This is not Jim Delaney or Jim Harbaugh.
Professor, what is the cause of Coen Carr's inconsistency? Is it defensive game planning or something else?
I think it's twofold. One, I think he's limited a little bit, so he tries to figure out where he fits, and defenses can take things away from him. But I also think some of it's mindset, and some of it's, he doesn't play as aggressively and as intentionally and to get to the paint, to be a factor on the glass as he always needs to be. And so I don't.
Well, and you said on Tuesday's show that he hits like 33s during practice.
He does.
That's all I could think last night.
Oh, tons of them. No, I mean,
I was like, man.
He took. So
what happens in between the practices and the game?
It's just different.
I understand it's different elements, different environments, but there's still a lot of people at those MSU practices. Well, it's not like it's just them playing ball.
It's sort of like Moneyball. Anybody who's seen him shoot there, he's hitting guarded threes from 30 feet. Like, it's not like it's just so different to do it at a Division I level. It's just very. It's
all right.
Yeah. But
it's fascinating.
There is part of me that doesn't understand it too, because in his shoes I would hit the shot.
Professor, bazooka to the head. Which former MSU quarterback has the best game against the Spartans next year? Kim, Hauser, or Childs?
So this is an interesting story. Michigan State will face 3 of its former quarterbacks next year. Noah Kim with Eastern Michigan.
Interesting, yeah.
Caton Hauser with Illinois, and Aiden Childs with Northwestern. Childs is the guy with Chip Kelly's offense. I think that could be a nice fit. I feel good for him. And what's interesting about I was thinking about this. Aiden Childs, like the discourse online toward him has been really positive. Like, I think people feel bad for the way it ended. They feel good that he's found a home. Northwestern doesn't feel threatening. He didn't leave. And what you start to realize is there are only certain ways to leave a program as a player and still be liked. Because Childs wasn't always even that well liked when he was at MSU. And he's a guy who he said he didn't care about the fans, and even though that was a little misconstrued what he meant, it didn't come off great. And the thing that's interesting is Michigan State fans feel like they're done with him, right? They moved on to Alessio. They don't need him, so he can leave somewhere else. If he was still the starter and he was leaving, it would be like the ultimate sin, right? Now, maybe because the head coach was fired that he came with, it would be a little different. But
that's why it's hard to blame Childs in any of that. Because
100%.
It's more Smith, and just everybody wants to turn the page and get past it. So it's like, all right, man, have fun in Northwestern, I guess.
And I'm not even blaming fans for feeling attached to guys, because this is what makes the whole thing work. But it is interesting. I've talked about this with like Liverpool soccer before, and Trent Alexander-Arnold, who 26 years old, had grown up in the academy system, played for them. His contract went out, went to Real Madrid. People just give him all the shit in the world. And, his other teammate died, and, if he had, so the only way to get out and be loved is like people be done with you, or you have to die. Otherwise, when you leave, people are just going to hate you eventually anyway. What
happened to the other guy? How did he
car
die?
Car accident. Yeah, not great.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. But he's loved by the fan base, so it worked out. Right.
Isn't that terrible, though?
Yeah.
Imagine if you died and people loved you. That would suck. One Ball Baney, how many twisted tees does it take to get a 6'11" giant hammered?
Well, apparently,
dude,
a few.
One Ball and I think the same way, because I said the same thing to T. I'm like, how many twisted MF and T's?
Yeah.
Because I think those are, 7%?
My guess is he had a few before those.
I heard there were some things.
Yeah. So, it's good advertising for twisted teas, though.
And cocaine, apparently. Next one from One Ball. Could you imagine an ex-Wolverine star doing what Davis did and apologize for their actions? Weber, Rose, Harbaugh, Moore, Manuel? Fuck no. It's not a real family like MSU, and it's not in their DNA fabric. They would make themselves the victims again.
I don't think first of all, I don't think he needed to apologize the way he did. I think it was good that he did, and he did it well. And I think it worked because he
just
did it
got
well.
hammered and yelled at the ref.
Correct. Yeah. So I don't think this is...
I just thought it was the best way you could. I wouldn't want to have to do the presser like I said earlier in the show, but I just think that's what you have to do to move on from it. We all make mistakes.
It's also a good way to...
Come on, Paul. I could tell you 5 stories that would make you feel okay about that.
Oh, you're going to be asked about that in a little bit.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
One Ball Baney. Hey, maybe the ref's wife really is a whore. One Ball bonus. Happy New Year, Couch the Rube, and to all of your degenerate fan base from the bottom of my One Ball.
Happy New Year to you, too, Clint. One Ball.
It's one of the weirdest nicknames ever because the guy actually has 2 balls.
Right. But he came up with it.
Yes.
That's true.
That's the best part. Oh, man, this guy's really going out there with his testicular cancer awareness month guy.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I got both my balls. And I'm like, wait, what?
No,
so confusing. Like, why are you going by one ball?
And the first time meeting one ball at Firekeepers.
Yeah.
During a live show.
Yeah.
And his wife.
And
that was
awesome.
tremendous. Yeah. Really,
like 9 years ago.
It was
Got his ball back by now. Jonathan Smith's burner. Should Izzo move Carr to the bench when Fears is on the floor to help spacing? Feels like MSU is one-dimensional when Fears, Carr, Cooper are on the floor together.
Yeah, no, you'd lose him. I mean, I'm telling you, you can't not just lose him like transferring after the year. It would mess with him. It's not. This is a delicate thing. And starting, the thing about starting is it doesn't matter unless it matters to you. And I mentioned that earlier, but it matters to these guys. So in other words, it doesn't matter to the game really. It really doesn't. Who you start, it's who's on the floor at the end. But if it matters to a player that's important to your team that he starts and it's a status thing or whatever, you feel like I'm a star, then you don't mess with that. You don't it's not worth it.
Jonathan Smith's burner next. Does Manchester United finish below 10th after firing Amorim? Should I hammer Brighton ML money line on Sunday? Sorry, Rube.
Well, hold on. I think this is a FA Cup weekend. You don't stay away from the FA Cup games. This is where I lose most of my money. Just I don't bet these games anymore. It's a great NFL weekend.
What would you like? We can bet against you then. There's games you like.
No, you get it wrong. It's your total guess because what happens in the FA Cup is early on is teams don't play all their guys. So like you don't know what the lineup's going to look like. Imagine like if you would bet the Bears this weekend and like right before the game they're like no Caleb Williams. You're like what? Wait a sec. And you only know an hour before the game. That's what happens with these FA Cup games.
So what you're saying is soccer blows.
I'm saying cups
in short.
Cups blow is what I'm saying. Yeah, it's not as like
that's the taint.
And that's the taint.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see what the Manchester. Oh, maybe that's next week, and that's actually a game because Manchester United plays Exeter City. Oh, that's Manchester City. Hold on.
Jesus fuck.
Sorry. Oh, they do play Brighton. Yeah. I would stay away from that. I would not hammer anything. I don't know who's going to care about the game.
You and your hold-ons are the worst.
I apologize.
Hold on. Richard Kane, is the Premier League table bunching an indication of parity or mediocrity?
That's the best league in the world, so it may be mediocre, but then everybody else sucks. So I would say it's parity over that.
Hold on. Richard Kane, what is the percentage likelihood Adam Nightingale leaves for an NHL job in the next 5 years?
I'd put it at 50-50. I mean, 5 years is a long time.
You go either way, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I do think he's a young enough guy. I mean, he'll have to decide at some point. Do you want to do 20 years? Do you want to be the next Ron Mason? And maybe you do, and that's a great life. But also,
Ron had a great life, man.
But if a dream of yours is to coach in the NHL at some point, and you become a hot enough name, and do you have to scratch that itch as well? I could see
and a white mustache.
I could.
White hair, white mustache. Ron Mason, man. Rest in peace.
Yeah, no, he was a
legend.
Yeah, man, I still remember the morning he died. It was
Jesus.
Well, no, I didn't mean. I mean, I was
trying to have good times.
Sorry, it was one of the obits that caught me off guard. I remember taking the call. To
always have to go 9/11 with it. We were just trying to reminisce and have good times with Ron.
Apologies.
Reminds me when I opened the paper and saw he's dead. It's like, all right.
By the way, his favorite bar.
Yeah.
Was very close to where Andrew and Monica live from Groovy Donuts.
Why are you doxing them? What did they ever do to you? Why are you telling people where they live?
I didn't say what his favorite bar was. Right? Is that fair?
I don't know. I think you got yourself out of a jam there, but
I did okay. Yeah, and it's not.
But it's not hard to find. I think even ChatGPT knows that shit. What's Ron Mason? What was Ron Mason's favorite bar back in the day, dude? Everybody and their brother knew about it.
Anyway, it's also not that far from Groovy Donuts. And again, if you're planning your NFL weekend, and like me, I'm like trying to figure out to make sure I can watch all the games, as many games as possible, while keeping the wife happy. Part of the way you can keep your spouse or significant other happy is a box of Groovy Donuts. Show you care about them. Get a separate little bag for yourself, cup on the way home, full box for them. Nobody has to know. Make sure you have no Ring doorbell footage. That when you take the bag of the extra donuts to the garbage, have a plan. These are the things you have to do with extra food. But just a fantastic selections as always, and some great offerings this week, specifically the Cinnamon Toast Crunch Bismarck this week through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m., Thursday through Sunday, Lake Lansing Road, East Lansing, and also in Williamson. And all this month, the Sticky Bun Apple Fritter. Also this month right now, the Chai Old Fashioned. Great stuff from Groovy Donuts.
The Brickzilla of Southern Maine next. Jason's joy regarding Paul Davis was infectious. Made for a fun listen. With 3 pound signs after. Is that like code for something?
You did it. You did
like
it.
when you see a pineapple.
You did sound like you were in your element. Yeah.
It was great. I would have talked about it for 2 hours. I was fascinated by it. The Brickzilla of Southern Maine. Everyone capable of rational thought knows Lou Whitaker belongs in the Hall of Fame. What player would the two of you remove because they don't belong? Apparently, Ryan Sandberg is not the player. I don't know, Jeff Kent.
Yeah,
you could rescind that shit right now.
I would take Whitaker over Kent. And the whole point with Sandberg is not that Sandberg doesn't belong, because Sandberg's career is very comparable to Lou Whitaker's. Lou Whitaker belongs. Yeah. And so if you're the taking Sandberg out was be like, all right, we're not going to have Whitaker, then we're not going to have Sandberg, and that would point. It's sort of like my saying, like I think social media shouldn't be allowed for children, and like we don't allow children to have cocaine. I think this is just as bad. It's the same thing with Ryan Sandberg and Lou Whitaker, right?
Kids on cocaine would be fun though.
Long-term effects may not be great, but yes,
fun for a while.
Entertaining.
Yeah. And if they're not yours. Captain Sparty, has Michigan played anyone good? They are clearly beatable. I think if MSU plays their A- game, they win. You? Well, shit, Captain Sparty, pass me some of what you're smoking, too, because you're feeling good.
Yeah.
I see that Michigan team, and I'm like, oh, fuck. That's the 91 running Rebels right here. What's happening?
So the best win they have, they've only played one Ken Palm top 25 team. I guess Villanova's in the top 25. So they beat Villanova by 26 or 28. Sorry, they beat Gonzaga by 40, which is a huge,
I'm not talking about
feather in the
Michigan.
cap. But you're right that they haven't played a great schedule otherwise. But USC's, in USC, here's if you're a Michigan State fan, you're looking for hope. Michigan State and Penn State both struggled about the same. Michigan and Michigan State both struggled about the same with Penn State on the road. Both beat USC by 30. And there really is in Oakland, Michigan won by more, but that was the opener of the year. Like, there really isn't any comparable, similar opponents to say that Michigan State can't play. And matchups, styles make fights, so to speak. I think Michigan State's going to be fine in terms of being competitive with them. I do not think it'll be a blowout at Breslin. Whether they're a better team or whether they, a team that can win 3 or 4 times against Michigan out of 10, which is probably the important trait when you're trying to, if you have to beat them again in March deep in the tournament, we'll find out.
Captain Sparty, why do you hate transfer news? I'm on both boards, and it's the most discussion and excitement I've seen in years. To fully understand your readers, you should subscribe. Love the show.
I do subscribe to more things than you think. It's expensive, but I do it. Just like Jason has 3 LSJ subscriptions because he's a supporter. And
well, that was years ago. And you conned me into it.
Yeah, well.
I canceled the credit card for that.
Just to get it's the only way out.
Couldn't get someone on the phone there.
You really have to. Yeah, some people have had to shut down their entire bank account and move and change their name. It's tough to get out of your LSJ subscription. Mm-hmm. I don't enjoy it. It's not that I hate it. It's hate's a strong word for it. I don't find it all that interesting. But I do pay attention because it's the job. And you're right that I think and I understand there's some lively stuff on message boards with the diehards, and I'm not saying that I'm good at my job. I'm just saying this is.
Don't you write that stuff off though? Like you said, you had to pay for it yourself. Like you write that off though.
Yeah, I do charge a lot.
Yeah, no. So you're trying to be a baby. Like I actually do spend a lot. Why do all you guys act like you're just constantly grinding and you're just getting screwed over all the time? It's like hard to like you guys sometimes.
Yeah, we're pretty hateable.
I know you really are. It's just like, Graham's a good guy. Then you do some shit like that, and you're like, I can't defend.
I do pay for some of my stuff on my own.
Guys, I got to travel economy.
I don't do that. I did upgrade to first class.
That's unbelievable. I had to use my own Marriott points. It's like, what the fuck? Guys working 14-hour shift out here doing construction and shit. Riley, not to go full Ebling, but who would you pick to shoot and make 2 straight free throws with your life on the line? Carr, Scott, or Ward? Bonus non-question. Tuesday's episode was awesome. Jason brought his A+ game for the Paul Davis incident.
Appreciate you, Riley.
It takes incidents like that for me to be A+.
That's right.
The rest of the time it's just C-.
Yeah.
I need someone to get kicked out when they're hammered at a game.
It was entertaining.
It was
entertaining.
It was great.
Okay, Carr, Scott, or Ward. You got 2 free throws. Yeah,
I guess I'm dead. I don't know. Do I trust with my life?
I would take Scott.
Okay.
I would take Scott by far. Not even close. Ward struggled, and Carr
has ice cold veins, though.
Yeah, I think Scott. And he He made the one after the missed, or after the 3-pointer when he got fouled, right? Too, which is some people pointed out. Sometimes.
And do they show Carr, Scott, or Ward who they're shooting for? Like, hey, this guy's gonna die if you guys don't hit 2 in a row, because then it might just be.
I would go Scott.
They show us, like,
I would go Scott. I'd go with the best shooter. Basically,
these guys.
I'd go with the best shooter of the 3, which is Scott. Yeah.
Matty B, could you imagine how good this MSU team could be with Bryn Forbes or Matt McQuaid? Why do you do that to yourself?
Well, senior Bryn Forbes and senior Matt McQuaid. Junior Matt McQuaid was, and I did a column on him. He would admit it, was like in his head. It was a mess half the time. Like,
yeah.
And Bryn Forbes had some moments as a junior, but really got very good as a senior. And so I think sometimes we forget that. It's the same with Matt Costello, who played hot potato with a basketball until he was really good as a senior. Like
that McQuaid senior season, man. It's underrated, really good. I think.
Very underrated. Yep.
Loved watching.
And what's weird about McQuaid is McQuaid was great out of the gate as a freshman. It was his sophomore and junior years where he struggled. It was kind of a weird career.
Matty B, why didn't Scott Harris just fart in Scooble's face instead? Less than $20 million for a back-to-back Cy Young winner? Way to show the fans you're not a serious organization. Just go sign this year's Alex Wood, you moron. You mean Alex Cobb, I think. Alex Cobb.
Yeah. But, yeah. Yeah, it's look.
And you were mentioning, because of the arbitration thing for a guy my level of my intelligence, I'm like, yeah, whatever. But, yeah, I mean, why are you lowballing like that? Why does everything have to be a record? Like, since arbitration started, this is the biggest gap. Like, everything we fucking root for, every team, everything has to be like, in my 70 years, I've never seen this before. It just drives me nuts. Can we just not fuck something up here?
You just talked about how unlikable I can be, which I agree with. But I'm just saying, like, Scott Harris does it professionally. He is a professional, unlikable person.
Yeah.
Like, it is really hard, yeah.
Matty B, what does NIL infrastructure mean? We've got $100 million. Is it $100 million website? $100 million camo dog hoodies? In seriousness, what is it for?
Well, the Spartan Ventures is not just like, I mean, a lot of things are going to fall under that umbrella. I mean, there are going to be staffers under that umbrella who no longer are technically under the university, from what I understand. There's a lot of things that are different, but ultimately the infrastructure will be to create, pathways through media rights partners, through donations, whatever it is, for NIL for athletes, and that's what it's for. And some of that costs a little bit of money, but that's it. It's not a website. It's not hoodies. It's not SD4L anymore. You're not just hoping people buy hoodies.
DMB, why was the Paul Davis ejection a story? Add another winner for the Blue Wall bingo card. Fuck out of here.
The guy got thrown out of a basketball game that stopped. I mean, the game stopped, and it's Paul Davis.
Come on, it was fun.
It's a story.
It was unbelievable.
It's definitely a story.
You know,
I think DMB's being.
No one got harmed. There's someone's wife was harmed.
Well,
some verbal stuff.
But my favorite photo is Paul Davis is standing up, sort of apologizing to Izzo with his hands on his chest and everybody. And look at the older people around him. He has clearly said things that have offended them. Like there's an older black woman. There's
also some people laughing too, though.
Yeah, there's some older people. There's an older black woman who's got like, who's just her look on her face is like, you don't want like that. I would be like, I messed up if she gave me that look.
Probably, is that a giraffe?
There was a white guy with a mustache. How many twisted teas
does it take to get a giraffe drunk?
Gray-haired,
offended.
Gray-haired mustache.
You can't even understand
guy.
what Davis says. There's no fucking chance. DMB, what are you trying to make a story out? There was an American woman. I mean, come on.
I'm just describing the people. The white guy with the gray
that's why
mustache.
you and Mitch are friends. Mitch Album, you guys get along.
Yeah. By the way, I took some shit for calling out the on Monday. Was it? I called out the lack of diversity in the
Izzone.
Izzone.
Yeah.
And people don't like that. But it's,
no
it's
shit.
I'm
still questioning you. Like, what are you saying that they're racist? That they wouldn't include anyone of any race or color? I understand, but I just like I think the Izzone is open to everyone.
It is
right.
I think.
I mean, I'm not saying you're lying. It is pretty white, but so is the LSJ. I mean, what do you want to say about that? Your own company there.
We're a little more. I would say our numbers are better.
There's no chance. I have pictures to prove it. They're on my digital frame. I'm fucking not joking.
I cut you off. What you were about to say? Something about something else.
I have no idea. Okay. Something about Mitch Album.
Oh, yeah.
DMB. Speaking of, does Mitch Album hate MSU because he got suspended for fabricating a story involving the Spartans? What would happen if you made that mistake in today's journalism, Couch?
Well, you should get fired, and you probably would. Although today's journalist, it depends who you worked for, I guess. I don't know that has had any effect on it. I mean, he's just always been a Michigan guy, and that's just kind of that.
Oh, all right. David P. Graham, have you ever heard Izzo discuss his ideology regarding late game lineup choices? He routinely leaves key starters in games way too long, usually about 3 minutes left. There will come a day where someone like Fears turns an ankle with 3 minutes left when they're up 25 points. Then turn around and you hear him post-game against Nebraska and tonight say, we got tired.
Yeah, and there's some
coach my team.
There's some more to this too. That it got a little long, but it was an interesting point.
There was more to that.
Yeah, there's more to that. Yeah,
David.
I mean, what's funny is he's been criticized over his career for like too many subs, and then it's hanging on to guys too late in games. But what he's talking about here is when they're up 25. The one argument, and he has mentioned this a little bit, and I don't know how much this has changed, but the way the net rankings work and some of the metrics that the NCAA tournament committee looks at, how much you win by matters. And that is something he's brought up, and these coaches think about that a little bit. So you're still playing for something even when you're up, which you shouldn't. I mean, that's kind of a dumb metric. If that affects seeding and anything, that we probably need to fix that. But I think that's one of the things. But that's the only thing I've heard him discuss, because I know there have been times where he's thought about putting other guys in, or even he has, and he's said, well, that wound up being an 8-point game instead of a 12-point or 13-point game, and that matters a little. But I think he wants to finish games decently. He doesn't want things to unravel. And some of the guys that he brings off the bench late, and maybe there need to be tiers of this, because when he brings in the walk-ons, you're talking about D3 guys against D1 guys, and that stuff can get out of control in a hurry, and all of a sudden a 20-point game becomes an 11-point game quickly.
Austin Wolf next. When this MSU team turns it over in the mid-teens, it lets competition hang around. Could have easily been a 20-point win. Izzo making comments about more minutes for Ford, and he plays 3 minutes. Hard to expect much out of him unless he gets more opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, they're struggling to find a role for him, and he hasn't really shown it when he's out there, and I think the defense has been the problem, and he's not shown himself to be the type of shot maker that can make up for that. That's just what that is. Yeah, I mean, it's the turnovers yesterday. I'm going to chalk this up to a weird one. Fears gets in foul trouble, and it's not just that he's in foul trouble. It's when he comes back, his performance, and that's what he's got to learn from. He sat out like 10 minutes or so, comes back for the final 6 minutes of the half or whatnot, but he was not very good when he first came back, and that's where I think the team was counting on more from him, and he was really out of sorts.
David Bearwaldy next. What do you see as the ceilings for our basketball and football programs this year?
I have no idea on football, and I don't think it's the thing about college football these days is how quickly some programs have been built, and you get the right quarterback, you get a couple good offensive linemen, all of a sudden things are better, and you don't know what the teams around you are, so it's very hard to know. The ceiling, I'm not going to say the ceiling is the roof, but the ceiling is the ceiling, I think, is that they can be a competitive team if they build the right roster, and that's just a cop-out, but we just say we have no idea. They've lost a ton of guys, they've added a ton of guys. I think it's dangerous when you have this many transfers, but maybe you get it right. I don't know. With basketball, I think this is a team that can beat anybody on the right night. And the question then, and last year, I think that it would have taken more for that to happen. I think this is a better team, more equipped team to beat the best in college basketball than a year ago. Even though last year's teams had some things that this year's team doesn't. But does that? They won't be the favorite in the NCAA tournament. And so matchups will matter, and how they play on a given night. There will be at least, you look at Arizona, UConn, Michigan, there are probably 3 teams minimum who will be sort of viewed as better than them, and maybe others who are right there with them, and from there we'll see.
Couch on fire. Before the Nebraska game, the announcer said Mast was a 7th-year senior. Does this mean Bluto Blutarski still has eligibility?
Yeah, it's amazing. Some of these guys will go back to the COVID year still. He's like a COVID era guy still, which is remarkable. I mean, he's injuries and COVID, and amazing.
Couch on fire. Although apparently effective, would you recommend any player copy Martinelli's free throw form? Looks like a shot put.
Not really. I mean, whatever works for you. Although I'll say this about free throws: the the best way to shoot free throws has been proven to be underhand, and nobody shoots it that way. So who knows? No, I mean, the most productive way to do it. It's like the only year Wilt Chamberlain was good at it, he shot underhand, and he was embarrassed by it and stopped. And like Rick Barry's talked about it is the way. And I'm still surprised that nobody has the balls.
How would you embarrass Wilt Chamberlain though? Like, what would you?
Yeah, he was embarrassed by it. Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
Izzo's no longer got to go. Can we free Paul? I was at a hockey game on the glass where the hole is cut out. It was dollar beer or twisted tea night, and AHL refs suck. So I got the ref's name and yelled, "Hey, McCracken, your mom's a whore." Some laughed. The ref glanced and did nada. Not proud, but that is a...
Oh, there must have been more. I didn't see more to this one.
I think that's a story worth telling.
The story worth telling. Presented by our friends at Midtown Brewing Company, by the way. Where you shouldn't yell things if you're there, though.
Hockey guys, that doesn't even faze those dudes.
No, hockey guys.
Holy shit.
There's no apology.
Your mom's a whore is not even in the top 10 of things that are said, probably. Fart Soup, what's more embarrassing? Damon Williams returned to UW after finding out UW was prepared to hammer him into space with lawsuits. Or Jason asking his future wife to hold his mule while he rocks a piss because he refused to set down the 2 beers he was drinking. What's really sad is I didn't have any beers in my hand.
You just couldn't stand up.
I just couldn't. Yeah, I was like leaning up on the wall.
Yeah, it was bad. That's the night that Elizabeth met Jason.
Oh yeah,
it was great.
It's the last time I saw her.
You've seen her since a few times.
Nothing gets by a couch.
Yeah, sorry. It was a funny joke.
Take everything serious, guy.
Sorry, I blew that. As soon as I said it, I was like, "What am I doing?"
No, you have. You've seen her. just kidding. It's a joke.
Yeah, we'll fix that in post because I'm embarrassed by it. That's more embarrassing. But Damon Williams' story, and it's funny that we haven't gotten into this to this point, but the fact that he's going back to Washington and this contract stood up, I think is a really important moment in college football. I do, and I think that.
Are we sure it's over? I mean, I don't want to give anybody a victory until we know.
No, but it sounds
like watching a Lions game and waiting for a flag. Here.
What he signed, and it sounds like this is the difference between some of the NIL and maybe rev share thing. I mean, this is a school rev share deal, I think, and like the contract that other Big Ten schools are using that from what I understand that they used sounds like it holds up a little bit. And so if this is what's being done, and whether we start seeing multi-years with this or whatnot, but this is a good sign because this would have really screwed Washington. You can't have this because Washington missed out on other quarterbacks because they thought they had their guy, and then he's going to leave. Like, imagine in the NFL if you signed a quarterback and you're all excited, and 4 days later he's like, "Nope, I'm going to go somewhere else." But you've already signed. Like, you can't do that. You signed the contract. There needs to be we can talk about there being no guardrails and players get all this stuff, but if you sign a contract and you're going to be paid $4 million and it's binding, and you would have screwed your team. I mean, and they should fight it because ultimately, if you screw over a team and an institution, and that's the way they bring in a lot of money for the athletic department, and their team loses because of that, and it costs them money. Like you know, players are going to have to understand this is real world business here.
Fart Soup next. Can you power rank these terrible people? Number 1, Lane Kiffin. 2, Muammar Gaddafi. 3, Johnny Spirit. 4, Solari. 5, Hitler.
Well, Solari doesn't belong here. He's not a terrible person. He's the top. He's
Put him behind Johnny Spirit, though, just to piss him off.
Oh, he would be so mad. Anyway, one of the best things we could ever do would be a cage match between Solari and Johnny Spirit.
Keep saying that, but then we don't know the reason why. Everything's so secretive. It's like...
Someday we'll have Solari back on and just do that. We'll talk about it.
We've had Solari on?
We had Solari on once. You remember we couldn't get him off? You remember it was like it was back when we did real commercial breaks and we were up like a hard out, and it was like, yeah.
You can't remember like players' names, but this
is like 2018, 19.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, earlier.
You said commercial break, hard out, and all that stuff. Yeah. Fart Soup, Jason, back in your glory days, did you ever have a Paul Davis moment? Well, nothing to that magnitude. I mean, that many people at Breslin, there's no way I could have handled that. Like the next morning, staring at the ceiling, going like, "What?" I mean, usually it was times when we went to do karaoke because I would have to get absolutely obliterated to do karaoke. And I would do Neil Diamond, America, and there was like that fucking interlude, and I'd just start walking around the bar. I'd like pick like fries off people's like plate and shit. It was over at what is that bar? Arts, not Arts.
Crunchies?
Anyway, no one cares. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, so there'd be a lot of those times, and you'd be in front of the whole audience, and there was a decent amount of people like on a Friday night to do karaoke. Because this was like 2004 or 5 or something like that. So, yeah.
I wish I'd been there just once. So
dude. Actually, I don't know. I thought I did a decent. I was entertaining at least. Some of the other people would just get up there and fucking scream. Karaoke's terrible to go to, by the way. I mean, unless one of our sponsors is having it. Then it's fun.
But is there a worse moment? Like you sit down with a group and you're excited about a night and you see a karaoke guy setting up their equipment and you're like, oh, no.
Actually, I got to say, it depends on the band. But if there's like live music, though, sometimes you're
sometimes
just like,
it's bad.
Shit.
I paid, it was 2000, it was like 2006.
Make up a year, it's fine.
2006.
I believe you.
Part of a group that paid a guy to go away on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. I get that.
Because, first of all, St. Patrick's Day should be moved because St. Patrick's Day too often runs into March Madness. And so you get these bars that are trying to take advantage of, like, two great opportunities, right? And they don't really know how to do it. It's like, we got an Irish singer here.
Yeah.
But also people want to watch the games, and there's a big game on we want sound for. And then you got this guy sitting up with his guitar. It's like, if we moved it out to, like, May, St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
A week after Cinco de Mayo or something. That'd be so much better. You can't have March Madness and St. Patrick's Day collide. But we paid a guy to leave so we could watch. I think it was the Michigan State George Mason game when I was in Kalamazoo.
I don't blame you. Hans Jurgen, what was the worst MSU basketball team you ever saw? I mean, how far are we going back? I went to games in the 80s and early 90s.
I was going to say I went to a game with my dad in like 87, 88 when I was. Where
Steve Polanowski?
Polanowski's after that. Okay. But yeah, this was like not even quite the NIT. I went to some NIT games, in those, Izzo's first couple years. Those are the worst for sure.
Hans, what real league is actually Bush League? La Liga? MIAA?
Love La Liga. There's
all these acronyms.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
Young
Hans.
boys of Atlanta and fucking soccer's so creepy. Oh, is that it? Hans, who was the most physically attractive MSU media member ever?
This is a good one. The best looking person.
Out.
Guys or girls. It could be either way. It's not Solari, Rexroad.
Girls. There's girls on this thing?
Oh, women.
Women?
Sorry, women. Yeah, we've had lots of women.
Broads. I mean, sorry.
Let's keep it to guys. Let's keep it to guys, okay? Just for the sake of this.
No. I think you should open it up.
No. Let's keep it to guys. Who's the hottest guy who's ever been on the? I mean, it's probably a TV guy. It's not Fred or anything, but like it's probably
Fred human, on the inside.
It's got to be one of the young bucks to come through Channel 6 or Channel 10. It's.
Wait, let's open it up to the females though.
No,
while we're here.
No, let's not do that.
I mean, come on.
Let's not do that.
Damn it. You almost did it. Shit. Jake Hawkins. Next, the Hawk. Sorry, I'm crying, Hawk. Another great win for the MSU women's basketball team against UW last night. They've had their share of tests, winning close ones and having one loss, but have taken some hits with Isa Alexander out for the season. What's the all-out potential for them?
It was a really good win at Washington. It was a ranked team. And, the challenge with them for a long time was they didn't play a very good schedule. And then they played a couple games, and they had a real dud of a game at Wisconsin. I'm looking forward to seeing them in person next week against Nebraska as a ranked team coming into Breslin. They've got some really good games coming up against ranked teams and good teams. That was a game that raised their ceiling. I think some of the guys getting Sotelo back, some of the people they've gotten back, and I don't know what's going to go on with Halleck, and obviously they've got some injury issues inside as well. Like I don't know what their ceiling is, but I like their guard play, and if they're healthy and their style of play, I think they got a chance to be in that next tier, not the very elite, but that next tier, and maybe get to that second weekend of the NCAA tournament. That's probably their ceiling.
Next one from the Hawks. So MSU football is going to face 3 of their former QBs at home. Bazooka to your heads. What will be MSU's record against? Didn't we have this one? Record against Eastern, Michigan, Illinois, and Northwestern.
I don't think we actually answered it.
0-3, 1-2, 2-1, or 3-0.
Oh, it's who was going to have the best game of the quarterbacks? Yeah, who knows what Illinois will be, but they're a little more seasoned program. So if I had to pick it, I would say MSU goes 2-1 in that. Loses to Illinois. They're all at home though, which is interesting.
Jake, when will we know the exact dates of the Big Ten games for the 2026 football season?
It's going to be soon, I would think. I was surprised it wasn't before Christmas. I've been in contact trying to figure this out. It's got to be soon. Yeah, it's amazing, and I feel it's holding up like weddings. I know somebody who can't get, they need the home schedule because it matters when the church is available because of where their parking lot is. Like, it is holding things up. Like, this is really inconsiderate by the Big Ten at this point. They just need to release it so people can get on with their lives.
Jerk guy, did you buy that 5X Big Lug shirt?
I did not.
What's he talking about?
It must have been something online that I sort of didn't pay attention to. I apologize, Upper Deck Jerk guy.
Oh, Jerk guy, can I compliment you on your feature of Cam Ward and Josiah Scott?
Jordan Scott. Did I write Josiah? I hope not.
It says Josiah in here.
Oh, it's the former defensive back. Yeah, it's yeah, but yes, you can. I appreciate you. And I do remember this Big Lug thing now. Hold on. Give me some Hoff really fast. I apologize. I feel like a jackass.
God. This Big Lug thing is important.
Well,
people have shit to do.
Peacock.
If you're still listening to our show 2 hours in, you do not have a lot to do.
Hey, don't say that. Bored at work.
I see the stars come out tonight.
Oh.
I see the bright and hollow sky.
I can't find it. I apologize. I did not buy it. I apologize. Yeah,
Instead of boo.
No? Sorry. Move on.
Jesus. All that for nothing?
For nothing.
Jerk guy. So Fitz has 1 year to make a bowl, and then we move on, right?
That's going to be the thing. Every 2 years, new coach, new hope. The whole thing's going to collapse.
It's not funny.
No, it's not. It's not funny. It's not funny at all. No.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Upper Deck Jerk guy. When was the last time you would say you were effulgent?
Let me Google this. Shoot. Give me some Hoff.
Off. Sounds like a fancy way to say boner.
Shining brightly, radiant. This isn't bad. I like this Upper Deck Jerk guy.
I lost that one.
Yeah. It's just shining brightly and radiant.
Stiff mule.
Last bet I won, I guess, would probably be whatever that was. Or last Groovy Donut I had would be the argument.
Lastly, from the Jerk guy, have you used Grok to make any inappropriate images?
I didn't even know you could do that, but I will now. You?
Dude, absolutely not, because Dominic does them.
Okay.
And he did one with Ebling, and I was so stoned. And I saw it was Ebling walking to a buffet and putting all of these.
I did see that. I did see that.
It was so, at the time, too, so effing real. And then he did one last night where you're clapping, which was great.
Yeah.
So that one, but it's just, dude, some of this shit is too, I love AI, big fan of it. I use it, but some of it is just way too real.
Yeah.
And I need to be prepared.
Yeah. So, yeah, no.
Yeah. I just use ChatGPT.
We appreciate all of you guys. Thanks for producing our show, sticking with us, and listening. If you're still listening right now, bless you. Really, seriously.
They don't have anything to do.
Ouch, dude. Sorry. I'm just in the jackass. We, of course, appreciate our friends at Firekeepers and the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app. If you download the app today, but if you want to go down to Dacey's Taproom and Sportsbook, it's a great sportsbook experience, especially on an NFL wild card weekend. Pretty cool place to be off I-94 in Battle Creek. We appreciate, of course, our friends at Front 43 Neighborhood Pub and Casket Company Kitchen and Bar. Great place to watch the games as well. Groovy Donuts. Go to groovydonuts.com. Place your order. Swing by. 2 locations, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m., Thursday through Sunday. Make your weekend better with Groovy Donuts. Midtown Brewing Company, of course. We'll be back Monday. Good show, man.
Yeah, man.
Couch in the Roof.